Hooray, hurrah! Hooray, hurrah! Okay. Do you want to attempt to recap what happened last, or do you want me to?
You can do it.
Just always have to give you the option. Just always have to give you the option. So last session was very heavy on the heart. Yeah, see what I did there. You all had suspicion that Ray had become infected with liquid pox. Remember what that is? I know it's been a little bit, jog the memory. And you all made your way to the Ace of Hearts to get her treatment. You found your way to the entrance through directions found in the effigy itself, and you entered the hearts and made your way to the infirmary. In there, you met up with Nux again, as well as a new changeling named Akai, though Nux and Ray only ever refer to him as Acute. And with the help of Maverick, Akai was able to diagnose both Nux and Ray with liquid pox. The only symptoms that they shared with you all was a pinching feeling on the side of their neck, specifically the left side of their neck, as well as early stages of this liquid-like skin. And at the end of the session, you all split up, with Akai telling Virtue to meet him at the quote-unquote blue curtain where they can discuss a matter further. Otto is helping transport Ray and Nux to the quarantine ward. Rock Crusher is looking for more people to offer him free things because of his heroic reputation. Things like tattoos, just to jog your memory. And Maverick is just looking around for something that might catch her eye. So, before we continue, is there anything that y'all would like to change from your decisions at the end of last session? You still want to stick with where you're going?
I believe I was heading towards this blue curtain, so yes.
No, I'm good. I'm not going to be kidnapping changelings, so I'll probably be going where I'm heading.
Where are we going?
You all
I think
split
I'm gonna
up.
stick with my decision because I don't, despite my theories, I'm going to not let that influence what Maverick would do.
Okay. Rock Crusher, you decided that you wanted to go see if there was any possibility of you getting some tattoos of some kind at the end of last session.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
Shit, what theory did I have? I gotta scroll back up to my notes.
Okay, so if you're all sticking with our decisions from before, I want you all to roll initiative, not for combat, but just to see what order we're gonna go through with people. And
you scared me there for a second.
No, you're not fighing. You're not fighing.
Roll initiative.
I was about to say, my heart dropped to my ass so fast.
Jumped.
And I'm using
19.
19.
17.
Okay. Please take your time.
18.
Automatically does.
Are we doing our plus with initiative as well, or just the flat rolls?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then 21.
It automatically does advantage for you now on D&D Beyond.
How fun. Maverick?
Sorry, I got a 15. I wrote it down.
There we go. Okay. And be prepared because I'm going to try a new-ish pacing style where instead of going through one person all the way, then the next we're going to switch between you guys a lot more often than before what I was doing. So always be on your toes, we could say.
Okay.
But with that, we're going to start with Virtue.
Hello.
There too.
Hi.
Yes.
Where are you headed?
I was instructed toward the blue curtain, so I suppose wherever that may be.
Okay, make an investigation check.
That is a 15.
15. It takes you a little bit, but you can recognize off pretty far from where the rest of the changelings are. There is a blue curtain draping down from the ceiling all the way to the floor, and it seems to be the only blue curtain in this area.
Oh, praying that's the right one.
Fingers crossed.
Virtue would then approach that, and he said behind the blue curtain, right?
He said to wait for him.
I guess I would just wait out. Like, go over to the blue curtain and I kind of just wait outside there.
Okay. So you have a little bit of time in between Akai telling you to come here and him saying that he needed to clean up after Ray and Nux to keep other people from being infected. So you have a little bit of time to just get stuck in your own head, as you usually do, trying to process everything that you've learned, as well as taking in the Ace of Hearts. Like, how did Ace even manage to get all of this on his own? Was he even alone? Why do people hate the changelings so much? They seem harmless. Who is Blackjack? Excuse me, you hear a voice call out from next to you, snapping you out of your trance.
Yes?
Standing next to you is a man, very tall, with a posture that just exudes confidence. His build is very familiar to you, very how tall he is and how broad he is, though it seems very distant from a memory that you can't quite grasp. He wears an all-black suit with golden accents to the bottoms of the cuffs. It's sleek, ironed to perfection. Where his face would be is a very, very intricate mask covering his entire head. Each side of his head has a different mask emotion on it, making 4 total faces. The one front facing you is a smile. On each side of his head, there's a fearful expression and a crying mask, and you can't see the one behind because he's looking at you. The top of his head is covered with a wide-brimmed feather hat, the feathers white and gold showing wealth. His hands are behind his back, though it seems like he's holding something. I believe you dropped this. His hands come from behind his back, his hands covered by golden gloves, and he holds a small dagger in his palms. It's in the palm of both of his hands, and the handle of the weapon is facing towards you, and it's definitely not a threatening stance.
Wait, wait. I'm thinking back to myself. Did I ever lose my dagger?
Looking at it, it doesn't seem to be your dagger. It just seems to be a dagger that you had. It's not the main one that you use, but you have about, I can't remember, like 3 others that you have but don't use.
I have a lot on
You have
me.
a lot.
5, 6, 8, one of the many.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. For to take it from the man.
The man puts his hands behind his back once more, standing up straight. Be sure to better pay attention next time. Not everyone would give it back.
Well, I appreciate you giving it back to me. Thank you very much. I'll try to be more careful.
And who might you be, sir? Have not seen you around before.
My name is Amar Singe.
Amar Singe. Named after the therapist, no doubt. I wonder what he's up to without that pesky patient of his. Well, I'll leave you to it, Mr. Singe, he says as he turns around, holding his hands behind his back, calmly walking away from you, only peeking once to glance at you as he walks away.
Interesting way of talking. But Claire, I have to ask. I'm assuming you have a photo for this person. Can I see it really quick? Because I have a fury in my mind crafting. Can I please see it?
Okay.
The things I do for you. God.
Please.
You have to show us, please, Claire.
Damn.
Because if this is if it is the exact photo I'm thinking of,
Got the whole party being feral.
I know. Ladies, calm down. One at a time. Well, I gotta sift through my many fucking pictures that I have. See if I have his ass.
if it's the photo I'm thinking of, I think I'll be able to help.
Well, let me make sure I'm not doing anything incriminating.
I swear it's not incriminating. It's just I need to see this because the description you gave was a little too uncanny.
Yeah, I was sitting there just like,
Okay, I'll just leave it like this. I have a character with the exact same description to a T.
Wait, that'd actually be so funny. That'd be so funny. That'd be so funny. So I just gotta rename it so you can't see it because I have his name in the picture. It's
I'm pretty sure we would not have chosen the same name, but holy shit, if it's the same photo, I'm gonna laugh.
Hold on.
If you
This is
chose
just a
the
secret between
same
us.
name,
Okay.
Holy shit, can my computer go slower? Please, take your fucking time. Jesus.
it is. It's the same photo. Same. I have the same fucking.
Type shit.
Accor makes an appearance. Question mark.
Yeah, immediately she gave that reaction. I knew immediately.
Well,
Yeah.
wait a second.
Accor? Question mark.
Yeah, for real.
Yes, it's actually him. Spoiler alert.
Plot twist, guys.
same
He made an
person.
appearance.
Oh, that's fucking
whoa.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You started you explained the suit, but then you started talking about the mask
Mhm.
on the floor, and I was like, oh, and then you talked about the hat, and I'm like, is this what I think?
Hey man, Pinterest is a wonderful thing. What can we say?
It is amazing.
Anyways, what are you doing, Virtue?
I walked away at this point, right?
Yes, he is. Went bye-bye. He's gone.
Okay. I suppose since he mentioned the therapist. I'm curious if I could maybe roll a history on this very interesting individual.
Please, go ahead.
Ooh, that ain't a bad roll. I like these dice. They're my new dice. History. It's gonna be a 19.
You recognize it as a character not from this campaign, from another. No. You recognize less of him, but because there's still some parts of your memory that's foggy, but just something about him seems familiar to you. But you can't quite pinpoint on what about him and why it is familiar to you.
Okay. I suppose from that point, and wondering what the hell happened, and which night was I missing, I think I'll
That's
continue
true.
to wait.
Okay, we will move over to Otto. Queen, you there?
Hmm?
We're moving over to you, Queen.
Yay, fun times.
Where are you going, Otto?
What's it called? I'm blanking on what the place is called. Basically the place where all the people that have liquid pox are being held.
Okay.
Containment. There we go. I think it's containment.
Yes.
Yeah. It took me a hot minute. I couldn't think of the word.
You're good, Queen. I want you to also make a investigation check.
Lovely, lovely. We love that. That will be a 15.
Okay. So, you're looking around at the whole section of, I almost said Val's, this is in fact not that same location, at the Ace of Hearts. And you see that where most of it is very bundled up and there's a lot of people around, all working on the same things, sort of right on top of each other, you recognize that off in the distance there is a closed off area where there's no decorations, there's no art, and there's very little people. You see that there are 2 changelings there, almost serving as guards, guarding off what seems to be less of curtains and more of a metal door on a wall, which also seems fairly out of place. And they refuse to let any other changelings get close to it, saying, "Keep away for your own sake." Things like that. So you can assume that this is a place that if not many changelings want to be, you want to go.
Yep. Let's start heading over there.
Okay. You make your way over there, and you see that one of the guards catches a glance at you and says, "Hey, stay away from here. You do not want to be over here right now."
Is this the quarantine place?
The other guard goes, "Yeah, this is the quarantine for liquid pox. The illness is still very new and very contagious. It's best if you avoid it if you can."
Yeah, I get that. I have 2 changelings that I'm going to be admitting.
2 more? Guardians above. Where are they? You made sure they didn't come in contact with anyone, right?
Oh yeah, definitely they did not. And we're gonna walk over to the middle door, and like a door's gonna appear, and they're I was gonna like open it slightly. Not enough for the guards to come in, just for them to look inwards.
You see both of them look to each other. It's like, where the fuck did that come from? And they like peek in and see Ray and Nux in there. And you also can see Ray and Nux in there. And they seem to sort of just be sitting there quietly, both in their own little heads. They haven't really noticed that you've opened the door yet. By the gods. Nux? God. Took another good one. The guard says, more to himself than to really get Nux's attention.
I was probably gonna like close the door after they've looked and be like, "So, can I go in?"
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not in. Do not want you anywhere near those folks, but we can unguard the door, you know. Take the barrier off, you throw them in, or gently toss them in. Then we close it after, but we do not want you in there.
Okay. That works with me. Let me just get those 2 and tell them what's going on.
The gods nod towards you.
Alright, and I'm probably gonna walk in and close the door behind me and kind of look to the 2 and be like, "Hey guys, so we're here."
I guess this is it, isn't it, huh? Don't say that, Nux. We'll be fine. Nux looks...
You guys ready?
They both nod and stand up, and Nux looks over to you. "Hey, if we don't make it out, just make sure that Acute knows that we love him, okay?" And then Ray looks over, defeated. "Nux, now is not the time for a nickname. We probably won't see him again. Don't you understand that? How can you be smiling right now?" And Nux looks over to Ray with a very shaky smile, saying, You remember what Spade and Hart said? Go through tragedy with a smile, right?" And Ray looks to you, understanding that she's truly lost her friend already.
Look, even though this is very new, there's still a chance. You both come out of here brand fucking new, for all we know. So don't give up hope yet.
I won't. You tried too
Good.
hard to keep me alive for me to die like this.
You know what? I'm gonna put this on the table for one of you, but I feel bad and I don't want to lose contact with you because it seems like you guys won't be hearing from the outside world. I want to put on the table of one of you becoming a... Hold up, I forget what the word's called. Casually has to go look in auto sheet what it's called. Thrall. There we go. Of one of y'all becoming a thrall. Nothing much really changes besides 2 conditions. You would never be able to harm me, which I don't believe any of y'all would, and that you'd be able to contact me as long as we're on the same plane of existence. So if you guys were here, one of you guys could still telepathically reach out to me.
They both look at each other, confused, almost debating between each other. But with that, we're going to move over to Rock Crusher.
Yippee!
Yippee, yippee, yippee! Rock Crusher, what are you doing?
Going into the tent.
Okay. I'm assuming you're meaning tattoo tent.
Yes.
Special little boy. Sorry, that was... You remember being told of a tattoo parlor that offers much more than just normal ink to skin. And with your status as, protector of the suits, you think that you can get a lot more out of this title than just a few thank yous. You saying that you want to go directly to the tent. I will say that as you're making your way through the hearts, you can understand it's very jarring, especially going from places like the Underground and Zathorax to this, where there's a lot of artistic talent going around, and there's a pretty big marketplace, many different tents of different vendors, piercing, training, jewelry, tailored clothing, card games, so much. But you got your eyes locked on that tattoo parlor at the very end of a mall. And you enter this tent labeled Ink to Skin, tattoos both thick and thin. It's very small. There are people getting tatted up, which is strange for changelings, getting tattoos to just change their skin into being a different person. I mean, does the tattoo even transfer to their skin? Beside the point. Each to their own. There's a fairly short changeling girl with tattoos covering her all of her skin, from her neck all the way down to her toes, with very large gauges in her ear and piercings covering her whole face as she walks up to you as you enter this parlor. Welcome in, my name's Kit. I own this place. How can I help you, sir?
I was interested in potentially getting a tattoo.
Tattoo. We got many shapes, many sizes, small, medium, large. Anything bigger would be much more money. You could do any sort of shape you want. What you thinking?
Looking for maybe something with a bit more summit to it, A little touch of the magics.
You got the money to pay for it?
That does depend how much money we're talking.
Well, if you're looking for some, summoning power, she says quietly, looking around, those don't come for free. We don't get that ink around much often, so probably, more than 200 at least.
Hey, yeah. It's reasonable.
Willing to pay?
Yeah, I'll go for that, yeah.
Kit looks around, making sure that everyone is still preoccupied. Then, come with me, she says as she walks farther into this tent, to an area closed off by tapestries and curtains. Do you want to follow her?
Yes.
Okay. When you pass through the curtains, the room becomes incredibly dark. The only thing lighting up the room are different jars of some sort of glowing liquid, as well as pipes attached to each of them. There's one reclining chair in the middle and lots of threatening-looking equipment surrounding it. Kit takes a seat in the chair next to the large reclining one and says, "Sit down, please."
I will take a seat.
These bad boys come all the way from the Star Blades. Some of the rumors say that these inks were created from the tears of Quinn Bow himself right before he disappeared. Do I know if that's true? I don't really give a shit. All I know is that these bad boys are strong. Here's my catalog. That move over to Maverick.
Ooh, catalog.
Me?
Catalog. Hold on. I can
Can I get the catalog so I can peruse?
Here, let me type it out for you, little sweetheart, little sweetheart. Who is the... I have to type these all out because I didn't actually just make a list. I leveled what they all did, but you should know what this shit does. Because there's no homebrew in it, I fear.
Ooh.
I know, very unknown for me. There you go, sweetheart. Take a little gander as we move over to Maverick.
Thank you, honey.
Don't call me that. Anyways, Maverick, can you roll?
Sorry.
No, you're chill. Can you roll an investigation check?
Are we?
I actually don't care. I just wanted to make roll an investigation check for me. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 19.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Hold on, I gotta pull something up. Give me a second. Okay. While looking around for anything interesting, your eye catches a glint of something on the ground. It's barely noticeable because of all the people walking on top of it, but you can tell that there's something off. It's pretty close to one of the curtain walls, but you can tell that something's going on there. Might have to check on it a little bit deeper.
So kind of like look around. Does she see like anyone else that's like noticed this thing?
Looking around with your investigation, I won't have you roll again. It seems that people are walking past it. No one's like avoiding it, but they also don't seem to be like looking down towards it. It seems like you've only noticed it because you're actually looking for it. But there's so many people, like there's so much just artist supplies lying everywhere, blankets and pillows, and just people that they haven't seemed to notice it.
Okay. And she'll go up to it then, if because it seems off to her in this
It does.
little area.
You can tell that it's not just one spot. It seems to be a trail going off. The trail seems pretty long, you know, and it seems to be trailing farther and farther away from the rest of the changelings. And this thing that is trailing farther and farther away, can you make a survival check for me? Can you make a survival check for me?
Oh dear. Where's my survival? Oh, it's a 5.
Ooh. Well, looking down at it, you get real close to the ground and you see that you can't tell how long it's been there. Can't necessarily tell what it is, but it does seem to be a little bit like it seems to be white and in the most non-sexual way possible, a little bit like sticky, you know? Not saying you've seen it at all before, wink wink, but you just can't tell how long it's been. But it's a very obvious trail that you can see.
She's not gonna touch it, but can she follow it?
Yes, you can.
All right, and she...
Are you trying to follow it without being followed yourself? As in trying to be sneaky about it, or just walking?
So kind of try and seem inconspicuous about it.
Okay.
Like she's kind of just walking, looking around as she's doing so, occasionally looking at the ground, making sure that she's following the trail.
I'll let you do this 2 different ways. You could either roll a stealth check or a performance check. But which one you choose will change how things might happen.
I think I'll take that performance because even though I have a +4 to my stealth, I would have disadvantage with it right now.
Clang, clang, clang.
Just try to cough it off. You know, they can't hear it if you're coughing. You know.
That's a 17.
Oh, you're sick.
17.
Everyone clear out the area.
Okay. I'll keep you updated. You know, with your performance, you're trying less to be you're not trying to be quiet, but you're just trying to seem as you're just happen to be walking the same direction as a trail. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like anyone's seen you. Some people look at you because you're trying to be quiet, but, you know, we'll just see how that goes.
Yep.
And you follow this trail. It leads you farther and farther away from the commotion of this, I don't know what to call it, a city. It goes farther and farther, and as you see, the trail goes not only farther down this hallway that you're in, but it also leads past the curtains in the wall and out of your sight. So it trails underneath one of the curtains that cover the walls. What would you like to do?
Can she, like, maybe make, like, a perception check to see if anyone is, like, looking at her, or investigation or something, just to see, like, is people looking at her?
Go for it.
'Cause-
Roll a perception check.
16?
Looking around you, it seems as though you've gone far enough away that you don't think anyone has seen it. And blending in with the crowd of changelings just acting normal seems to have worked better than trying to sneak around pretending to be someone different. So, you don't think anyone has followed you.
I guess she'll sort of, like, lift up the curtain a little bit. Try to see.
Okay. Passing...
Could be there. Or not there.
Pulling the curtain back ever so slightly, you see that there isn't a wall. There seems to be a wooden door behind this curtain, and it looks as though the trail is going underneath the door. This door has a keyhole, but it also seems fairly weak and very almost shittily put together, we could say.
Is it made of metal?
It's made of wood.
It's made of wood. Okay. Keyhole's made of wood.
The key's hole is made of metal, but the door itself is made of wood, I should say.
Okay.
I got you. Let's move over to Virtue. Back over to ya.
Hi.
Hey. After a little bit more of waiting, you see Akai walk over to you. It's pretty obvious due to his naturally darker skin than the rest of changelings. You could tell it's him. Can you tell if it's a different changeling? I don't know, but it looks like him for sure. He has his arms crossed as he keeps looking back to see if anyone's followed him. You said that you were here to check on Elena, right? He says as he makes his way closer to you.
Yes, I am.
Well, I may know a thing or two about what you're looking for, but my parents taught me better than to just blankly trust a stranger. So before I tell you any of my secrets, I need one of yours. Then we'll be even.
Oh god, there's a lot to pick from.
That's normally not what you want to hear from somebody.
Yeah. I'm not saying
Oh, there's so many
loud.
things.
I'm like, I seriously have to contemplate this is out of character. Like, oh shit, which one? Like, Corrosion kind of like makes a face. She's like, how recent of a secret does it have to be?
Anything, just be truthful now. Because if I'm going to tell you everything that I know, I need to know a little bit more about you, you know? Amar Singe.
Like sifting through the things I have done in my head.
No, just tell him that you've killed a lot of people. I'm sure that'll go well.
Oh,
no.
yeah, totally.
I suppose I could say that I'm a very... I have a very firm beliefs, and I have done many things in order to make sure those things happen, and I have not been beyond going even behind my party's backs to make sure that the right thing is done, in which they don't know about half of the things I have done. All for a very good reason. Like, once they were trying to kill someone that did not deserve to die, and I ended up saving them secretly. All turned out right as rain in the end, but...
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm gonna give it add-on persuasion. That is a 24.
Okay. You see him sort of, and nod his head, looking around for one final time to see if anyone was looking. Then he turns to the curtain and opens it with one arm, just wide enough for both of you to slip in. Can you make a stealth check for me to see how obvious your ass is? Rogue.
Rogue! Oh my god, I get to do my rogue things. Advantage, go! I love my boots. It is a 21.
Okay.
Not that bad.
Not that bad, bitch. It's a 20. Anyways.
I know, but I still only rolled a 13.
Damn. You,
Damn.
you make your way.
Shut up, you're a paladin.
Shut up!
Damn. Shots fired, shots fired. You, as soon as he pulls back the curtain, you manage to slip your way in like a little sneaky snake that you are, and see that he follows in after you. But let's move over to Otto.
Yay.
After that. You see that both of them sort of look to each other and then looks back, and at the same time they both go, "I'll do it. No, I'll do it. No, I'll do it." And they both look to you. Ray is the first to speak up, going, "I'll do it. If one of us is gonna survive out of this, it'll probably be me. No offense, Nux." "Oh, come on, please. You're more infected than I am." "You just choose. Which one do you want?" They both look towards you.
Beat a silhouette going down. I was the only one of them to agree.
Who do you want to be your thrall?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'd go with Ray only because I've seen Ray through a lot of things, and personally have helped Ray a lot. It's no offense to you, Nux, but I think Ray probably be the better suit.
None taken. Ray just gives a smile as if she's a bit happy, a bit proud that you chose her. And she just says, "Just tell me what you need me to do."
There actually isn't much. I'm gonna hold out my hand. I will be transferring a bit of magic to you. I'm pretty sure it only requires touch, so would you like to shake my hand?
You see her take a deep breath in and out, and then look into your eyes with determination as she reaches very quickly as if she's trying to do it before she can start thinking any harder, and just grab onto your hand and shake it.
All right. And unless Claire, there's some other things that you have required for this throw, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Lovely. You said Arcana
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
and natural 20.
Damn. The fuck? Oh, okay.
I only have it doesn't have. I literally have a +0, so it's nothing too grand.
Natural 20. Okay, Queen.
Pop off.
Describe what it looks like when someone becomes your thrall.
I imagine when someone becomes auto thrall, damn, is that something similar to how it was with Quinn. They don't look as healthy, but they also don't look sick. They're just kind of in the middle between, how do you explain? How did you explain it to me, Claire? I'm trying to think.
Skin pale, just looking thinner, more void of life.
Yeah, so something. It's basically that. I imagine that's how anyone who becomes auto thrall is how they'll become.
Okay. And with that, I'm gonna have you keep track of your thrall now. You see,
It's a deal.
as Ray is shaking your hand, it slowly becomes less and less firm as her hand becomes weaker and weaker and slowly just slips out of your grasp. And you can see that she's definitely still there, but her posture is slightly slumped over, and her already pretty emotionless face becomes even more void as her skin sort of shrinks and wrinkles more than it usually would, more for, being infected with something. And her skin becomes even more translucent, we could say, because her skin's already white from being a changeling.
Yeah.
And Nux looks over, almost like disgusted in a way, having their hands tightly or crossed around their chest. What's gonna happen to her?
Nothing much. She should technically still be herself, from my understanding. It's just think of yourself being charmed in a way. And because she's also my thrall and she's imbued with magic, she's gonna look different. So she shouldn't act too differently, from my understanding, but she will look a bit more sickly than what she actually is, because that's how I am.
Huh.
I'm sick.
Paid to break. Okay. I guess let's hope this works.
Yep. I'm gonna look at Ray and put a hand on her shoulder, all right, if something happens or you need help, do not be afraid to contact me. No matter what, it can be for the smallest thing, even a hi, but contact me if something happens.
You see her thoughtlessly, though you know that she's looking at you and taking in your words, just slowly just nods yes towards you. As if you could say literally anything and she'd do it.
Yeah, that's kind of how a throw works. I'm gonna look over to Nux and be like, just try not to get too separated. And just, if something happens, tell Ray if you have to, and contact me. Shit, if anything, I'll try to break you out if it gets bad.
Understood.
Great. You both ready? And I'm gonna look at the both of them.
They both look towards each other one more time, Ray looking a lot more distant, and they both nod yes towards you. And with that, we'll move over to Rock Crusher.
Yeah.
Rock Crusher, you're sitting almost in a dentist chair is the best way to describe it. There's a lot of sharp objects, a lot of glowing liquid around you. And you've got a little slip of paper, almost looks like a newspaper with a catalog in your hands. What you doing?
I'm gonna message you just so I can, what's it called? Have enhanced dramatic effect.
Okay. Okay, give me a second.
And I think for one of that, quality / size, it says it's 2 arms or something.
Yeah. You can choose what you want it to look like. It just needs to have some sort of aspect of the one that you chose and cover both of your arms. But I'll let you choose what you want the design to look like as I give you a price.
So I was thinking like just along the arms, sort of looks like smoke kind of thing. Just it constantly changing. Yeah, it's like looks black. It just, when you like snuff out a candle, it's that sort of like heavy smoke, just sort of like a little wispy, that kind of stuff, just all the way up the arms, just like coiling, changing. If you sort of look at it too long again, it goes a bit blurry.
Okay. I'll give you all right, I can do that for you, but it's gonna be 300. Take it or leave it.
You offer any sort of discounts for celebrities?
And what did you do, celebrity?
What did I do? It was a protector of the suits or something.
Yes, that was you.
Yeah, it's me. Protector of the suits, Kind of a big deal. Yeah.
Roll a persuasion check.
Advantage because it's true.
No.
Damn.
Not doing very well. Very good job, Ed.
8.
Ooh. Uh-huh. And I'm supposed to believe that how?
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'll pay.
All right. Perfect. Pay first and then I give you what you want. I swear I won't cheat you out. You can come personally kill me if I were to do that. I don't stoop low.
I trust you. I'll hand over my gold.
Okay.
Hefty pouch.
Hefty pouch. She takes it, tests it in her hands, looks in to make sure that there's 300 gold pieces in it. And then
spends like half an hour just counting out 300 coins.
Yeah, just looks, just glances at one of those cools like, yeah, I know what this much money looks like, and then puts it on a table. And she moves over with a sort of a chair that moves extremely nicely, like a rolly chair, though.
Oh wow, chair on wheels.
A chair on wheels. You're like, whoa, who would have invented this before? As she goes to grab at different equipment, different needles, attaching tubes into different ink. It's very strange. It kind of makes you a bit concerned, but And she's like, hold on tight. This might hurt a little bit, just a little bit. I swear. I'm starting on the count of 3. Okay. I'm not stopping until I'm done.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Can you make a Constitution save for me?
I can't save.
Yes, please.
30.
Well, you'd think that it'd feel bad, but
Do I
in
make
fact,
the DC?
no, actually, you don't.
Ah, shit.
But you'd think that from the way that she's warning that it'll sound bad. I mean, like, it's rumored to be the tears of the god of magic injected straight into your skin, but it almost just gives you this sense of adrenaline. It feels kind of good. Like you're getting almost a high off of all of this magic being physically embedded into your skin. And as you get tatted up, let's just say, let's move back over to Maverick. Maverick, you have encountered a wooden wall, or a wooden door, my bad, with a metal key lock on it. What do you do?
Mm-hmm. So, I had a little bit of time to think about this. This will probably not go very well, but I can't think of any other way.
Oh,
I think first thing, I don't have any lock picking tools.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have my rapier.
Yeah. No, please let him land. Let him land. What are you gonna do with that rapier?
I was wondering if I could try to use the end of it to pick the lock.
Okay. Can you make a sleight of hand check with disadvantage, please?
I believe in you. I want to see this work.
Oh, I got a nat one. No! Please don't break my sword! No!
I'm just imagining someone's walking by and all they see is Maverick just fucking trying to shove this sword.
No, that
door.
persuasion check was great. You just look like you're, I don't know, trying to carve something into a wall, you know? You take your rapier and get all close to it, getting as close as you physically can, and you try to fiddle at it with the tip of your rapier, and you hear something snap, and you're like, oh my god, maybe I got it to work. So you pull out your rapier and see that the very tip of it has been embedded in this key lock and is no longer on your sword.
Sigh in disappointment towards herself.
You definitely tried.
Can she instead perhaps use produce flame to burn, kind of like char the edges around, like char the wood around the metal lock to get it off somehow?
Let me look at what this produce flame does.
A flickering flame appears in your hand. The flame remains there for the duration and harms neither you nor your equipment. Produce the flame sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. The spell ends if you dismiss it as an action or if you cast it again. You can also attack with the flame, although doing so ends the spell. When you cast a spell or as an action on a later turn, you can hurl the flame at a creature within 30 feet of you to make a ranged spell attack, and then it's
Okay.
attack
Okay.
things.
I will let you do this, but you could choose roll an Arcana or a Survival check.
Let's do an Arcana. I got +1 to both, so it doesn't really matter. How's 16?
How is a 16? Okay. You try your hardest, you know. Maybe if I couldn't use my rapier, I could use fire instead. So you produce the flame, and you try to just get around. Explain how you're trying to open this door using your flame again, just for me.
So, I'm trying to char the wood around the lock to make the wood a bit weaker, because when wood burns, it becomes more brittle. So I guess in doing so, I guess the main goal is to try and make the wood around the lock more brittle, so that maybe she can not to more like shove the door open, but not kick it open.
Okay. With your roll, I will say that you try your hardest to get around the lock to weaken the wood and so it isn't attached through the lock into the wall. And you see that you are making some coverage and it seems to be working, but you don't know, and I'll have you decide whether you want to keep going, because the more that you do, the more you see that you're kind of just setting the door on fire. So do you want to keep going for the chance it'll work and plug set the door on fire, or stop?
It was just stop. Just the goal is just to weaken it to the point that she might be able to. She doesn't want to set it on fire. Just char the wood a little bit.
Okay. Then what do you do with your weakened door?
Very
Can
simple.
Can I try and push the door open or in, if you're like trying to like shove like something with like your whole body weight, almost. You know, that's what she's gonna try and do.
Breaking indoors. I've seen this before.
Mhm.
Roll a strength check.
Okay. Just strength check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Okay.
no, the memories are flooding back.
Gosh.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, shit.
22.
Damn. Oh, the fuck's... Lord. So, you brace yourself for this impact from this door, and you can see that it's weakened pretty considerably, and you have not caught the door on fire. So, you bum rush it with your shoulder and your upper arm, and you manage to pretty easily, almost as if it was unlocked in the first place. You know it wasn't, but, you know, just so strong that you managed to bellow your way through. That's not the right word, but you managed to burst your way through this door and break it open, swinging open and letting out a large sound of wood cracking and breaking that echoes out into this room. And
Like, wins that she hears that. Just like, ooh. Okay. That's loud.
what would you like to do?
Is the room dark? Well, she has dark vision, so I mean, that's not there now. What does she see as she like goes into the room, or like doesn't exactly go in, but like looks into it?
I'll explain to you it after we talk to Virtue. Virtue! See that segue? See the segue? Wasn't it so
Yep.
good?
Yes, very good. Applaud.
Thank you. Thank you. So you enter past the curtains to a very small room that looks very similar to a bedroom. The walls are covered in, shocker, more curtains, as is the rest of this strange building. But they are all very dark and there's very little light emitting in this room. The bed is very small and there's a small table covered in loads of maps, paperwork, and books. On the bedside table is a small framed picture. Of it is a much younger looking Akai, probably less than 15 years old, as well as a changeling woman and a man with gray skin, pointed ears, and white hair that almost looks like a cloud. Both older people seem to be hugging this younger version of Akai, and there's a flower pot tipped over onto the table. The only wall that isn't covered with curtains has hundreds of papers, pictures, and letters hung up on the wall like a detective board with string connecting them all. So what are you really here for? He asks, looking over to his board of collected evidence for something. It looks like a whole lot, but also looks like a whole lot of nothing at the same time.
It's like a bunch of red lines going everywhere but nowhere.
Yes.
It's like my brain. Well, I am here for what I told you for. I did come here and search to see if Helena was alright.
Well, Elena doesn't really talk about her past much. I don't even know if I didn't even know that she had an ex, is what you said, or what your friend called you. Whatever. I usually don't even.
Yes.
Well, I'm very sorry for you. That's very unfortunate. I personally don't ever really see her without her armor on, though when she does, she is generally friendly. She's done a lot for us, though her being connected to the clubs does make me nervous. I think she's one of Blackjack's new favorites, but I don't know if that's a good thing.
Why wouldn't it be?
Let's just say the last one of Blackjack's pets was Krista, and now she's trying to use the goddamn spirits to help her escape from that hell.
I thought, Krista seemed quite fine to me. I guess just more under the surface there, but... Yes, for the context, I am technically Elena's ex. I was never really given a proper reason. She left a letter basically saying that she was leaving to not go find her, and she was on the right side of history. But going here and saying that you're on the right side of history is a little concerning to me.
The right side of history. Would you mind if I went on a little bit of a ramble? Not many people like when I ramble a lot, but it might help you.
Go right ahead.
Well, each symbol has a meaning, the symbols of the suits, and it basically distinguishes what each of the suits does. The hearts are the performers, keeping up morale, being the gateway for every changeling to make them feel safer. The spades are the providers, or that's the best way to describe it. They give the suits food and money as they need. They go out pretending to be other people, not just in Baus, but in all of Holta, to give back to the suits. The diamonds used to be the investigators before they were disbanded. They would be the ones to sneak around and gauge how the city felt about the changelings. And they also did a lot of investigation in the capital to make sure that they had our best intentions at heart. Though without them, no one really knows anymore. But what makes me more interested in the right side of history thing is when it comes to the clubs. They do a mixture between the diamond things and their own. The clubs work in the capital. Blackjack enforced that. He said that working with the capital will make the suits stronger. But I don't know if Club Heart or Spade actually agree with that. I don't know if Elaine is doing anything for evil. I don't know if the clubs are doing anything for evil. That's what this board is for. She just always said that she was given a sign that the suits needed her. I don't remember, what did she say? She said something like they needed her divine help. She's investigating the liquid pox epidemic as well as the new killer running around, and with the diamonds gone, the clubs were the next best for her to do that. I mean, I'm basically doing the same thing.
Interesting.
He walks over to the board and turns to you, showing off and pointing to different things as he speaks. Her and I both share a theory about the new killer. The old killer and this new one, as he uses his fingers to draw a connection between a wanted poster for the old killer and then a picture of the newest one, are the same person. That or they're connected in some way. Look, I know it sounds dumb, but there is no way that the new killer is a changeling. They claim to be using the diamond symbol for themselves, but I think he's forgotten that the diamonds don't exist anymore. Well, other than the few lone survivors that ran to different suits. I remember seeing Tavli rush towards the capital after my father's death, and the new killer does the same thing. Maybe they both live near there or something. Well, that or disappearing into a cloud of gold and vanishing. They both kill the same way, hunt the same way, though the new killer is more organized, and round the same locations.
Looking at the wanted posters in between them, since I know my face
Really?
very well, would I be able to make any difference in between this new poster and the old one?
The old one seems to be very old, as if they don't necessarily make new ones anymore. It isn't a picture of you. There isn't any color to it. It's more of just a silhouette outline. The outline looks very similar to you. So they kind of got that spot on. But it just says wanted serial killer of Vows back in, I can't remember the correct date. I think it was like 12.
Very long time ago.
1259 or something like that. And it says reward 2,000 platinum under capture, dead or alive, with a picture of you. And then the new one is very similar, though there is a substantially less reward, and it seems to be a lot more put together, a lot more organized, as if the old one was handmade and the new one seems to have been printed in the line of many others is the best way I could describe it. But the silhouettes, you can't really gauge much from the silhouette of the new killer. All you can see is that it has the hoodie, just like the killer that you've seen in person, as well as the mask, which you've also seen in person.
Well, I think it would be a bit of poor detective work to say that these both are the same person. Because, one, the old killer was an elf and would look very different now compared to them. And two, these are just silhouettes. There is no way to distinguish through their actual facial features. And I have another question for you, Claire. Before me, was there other killers in Faust before me?
Make a history check.
Okay. Where the fuck did my D20 go? 1, 2, 3. There it is. Okay. Start counting my fucking dice. A soft 20.
A soft 20.
Lovely.
You remember, as a child specifically, hearing rumors of just things to get people's minds stirring, things to get fears rolling, specifically with spirits, but you never encountered an serial killer older than you.
Okay.
You see a cat kind of like squint his eyes and, but I guess you got me there. But I have other theories, I swear. And with that, we'll move over to Otto.
Yay. I'm probably taking them out at this point.
Okay. As you open the door, you see that the guards have opened the door to this ward. The door isn't open large enough for you to see into, and they're both very close to it. It seems that they've done some sort of mask that looks strangely similar to the one that Diamond has, but it just doesn't have a symbol on it. As if they're holding their hand to it, as if it's some trying to protect them from anything airborne. And they say, move it, you're the lucky ones. With the meeting happening in a few hours, you might only have to be in there for a little amount of time before you're transported, they say as they sort of usher them in as fast as they can before closing the door and then putting their hands on it as you see it sort of like wobble and glimmer with some sort of light and magic, we could say, before they turn back to and put their arms across their chests and sort of look out, saying, okay, thank you for your help.
No problem. Have a great day.
And
I'll probably walk off. Quick question. Do I still have, True Sight?
yes, you do.
Have I seen anything interesting during this whole thing?
What is your passive perception?
How low is shit? It's 11.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Surprising.
Well, you can definitely tell that there are a lot of changelings, because you don't need a high pass perception to tell that, like, you can't tell if they had shifted before and you just can see past it. You can't really see much from just, like, not looking into it too hard as you're just passing by all these locations. It doesn't seem that you found anything interesting. But what would you like to do?
For now, probably just wander around.
Wander around.
Yep.
This one I'll ask, you can make a perception check for me, please.
Yay. Let me go look at my perception. I almost accidentally took my persuasion from my fucking persuasion, my perception differently. That's an 8.
Ooh.
I know, right? But I almost accidentally took my persuasion from my perception. I was like, why is that a 10? Wrong stat.
Oh boy. Well,
Got that good of eyesight?
Otto quite literally is somewhat not decayed, but is dead. Otto does not have great anything besides charisma, Which I don't know how this walking corpse has good charisma.
Well, is there anything you're looking for specific, or are you just walking around?
Uh, just walking around for the moment, unless something catches my interest. Because I don't know
Okay.
where anyone else is at this moment. You
Well,
find Maverick shoving their sword into a door.
well, unfortunately, you rolled too low to even see that, so...
Whoa!
Damn.
Look! My sword is very sad now.
Your
It's
sword
broken.
Who was the
feels-
one to decide to shove a rapier into a lock? I'm just saying.
if
You
that
let me do
sword-
it.
That's the point. It's D&D.
Bro needs a new
The-
sword.
If the sword
Those are
ever
bad.
had
I am gonna
thought,
make a
it'd
new
be
sword.
like it'd call the police, being like, "I was just abused. Help me."
My
Okay.
sword would.
I will say, you hear something in the distance as you are sort of just walking through. You make your way to the marketplace, which I don't know
Who does
anywhere
that?
anyone else is. And you see at the very end of this marketplace seems to be some sort of tattoo parlor of sorts. And you see a tattoo artist rushing out, screaming and yelling.
What the fuck? Are you okay? Like I'm gonna like run over and be like, "Hey, are you okay? What's the matter? Why are you screaming?"
What is the matter? Well, let's move over to Rock Crusher a few moments prior to that.
Oh, lovely.
Rock Crusher.
Flashback.
Not by much. I actively don't remember if you have to attune to a tattoo. I'm pretty sure you do.
It says the attunement period is like, while it's being, well, technically it says that the attunement is done. It's just a magic needle that once you've attuned, the tattoo appears on you. But I don't know. You could flavor that as like
Okay.
the time it took to do the tattoo.
What?
But yes, you do have to attune.
Okay, what we'll do is we could say that as the ink goes onto your skin, it forms just as normal black ink, but as more time goes on, you can see that it's starting to bubble and spark with life. But do you think that it would take a long, or not a long, you take a short rest for it to fully emerge on your arms, so you're not fully attuned to it yet? Not sure why.
Yeah, I think it says it takes like 30 minutes or something to attune an
Yes.
item.
So you take a little bit. So, Kit, this tattoo artist, finishes your tattoo. And it seems, as we said before, that it'll take the ink a little bit longer to choose when it wants to settle into your skin. But it took a little bit of time, not that much, the time in between you guys interact. Beside the point. But as you both are silent as she sort of finishes her work and looks back over the gold, and she's like, okay, it'll start forming in about 30 minutes. As she's sort of speaking to you about the process of what this is going to feel like, you start to hear noises coming from farther back in this room behind all of the glowing ink. And at first, it's not very recognizable. What's your passive perception?
16.
But very quickly, as she's sort of explaining it to you, she seems she hasn't noticed yet. You start to hear that this noise, it sounds like gurgling, low growling, escaping occasionally from behind Kit and behind all of this ink. What would you like to do?
Like, you, got any pets?
Pets? No, I fucking hate animals.
Uh,
Why?
Rat problem?
Rat? Are you okay? The tattoo isn't supposed to make you see anything.
The big... There's something behind your goos. Behind your goo collection. Just... You not hear that?
Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Oh god.
I have advantage on them. Thank God I have advantage on them. Okay, good. 18.
Ooh. You lucky bitch.
Oh.
You, as this tattoo artist looks behind her, as you're sort of pointing to where the noise is coming from, you see something jump out, causing all of the ink to stumble out of their jars and fall onto the ground and cover your vision. The pure force of the impact causing you to sort of jumble around, but it seems that you're purely fine. It's cold, it's very wet, it's very gross, and it feels like it's trying to bite your face off. But luckily, you're able to dodge out of the way to where it only really latches onto the chair behind you, as you haven't really been touched by it, just scraping against. And you hear the tattoo artist just go, "Holy fuck, a corrosion!" before rushing out of the back room, leaving you alone with this thing. And I want you to roll initiative.
I try and get the fuck out of there.
But
23.
Otto,
Yep.
back to you. You see that this tattoo artist has sort of just like has rushed out and has her hands on her thighs as she's just trying to be. It's like, oh my god, it's a fucking corrosion. It's in there. Everyone get away from it. As she's sort of screaming out and rushing past you, not even like really talking to you, but just talking to everyone and running away from this tattoo parlor. And you see that more people are rushing out of this tattoo parlor as well, and you start to hear commotion from inside.
I'm gonna go over to that parlor. Let's go peek.
You walk into the parlor and see that most of the people have rushed out, as the curtains are sort of starting to rip apart from a being that you can't necessarily see yet. You can see that it's coming from farther in the back. And you also see that there's something else in the room with it.
I'm gonna cautiously start walking over and be like, "Hello? Besides whatever the fuck that is anyone else in here that might be trapped or maybe getting eaten from that thing?"
Yes.
Oh shit, rock crusher! And probably not caring too much of the equipment. I don't think they care, because this corrosion thing's probably destroying it. I'll probably get ready to use Eldritch Blast to try and push it off Rock Crusher if any of them hit.
Okay, can you also roll initiative for me?
Absolutely. That will be a 17.
Okay. You rush to this back room, and I'll describe this creature a little bit better. Rock Crusher, you are still sitting in the same chair that this thing is, but it seems to be on the back of it and is not touching you at this moment. This creature is very small, barely the size of your leg. It looks like a small little white mass of something. Its body is not solid. It's twisted to be any shape and any size. It has a sort of head with 2 holes making some sort of eyes, but it doesn't have any other features. It's very noisy and low gargles coming as it lunges towards you. But we'll move over to Maverick.
I'm just going to the toilet real quick.
Take your time, brother. Maverick.
I'm scared.
I can describe this a bit better to you. The best way that I can describe to you this area is an abandoned construction site. It looks like past this is a completely different building. There are walls that are only half built, holes in the ceiling with scaffolding on them, abandoned tools, piles of equipment and materials with coats of dust over them. There are holes in the walls that let in the light of day inside. And looking at these holes, it only leads to more stone structures next to this abandoned one. Everything is quiet, but you can only really hear the sound of your footsteps and something else, as you hear voices echoing from somewhere in this building. The voice is very distant. You hear, "I'm not a fucking idiot, Spade. You just don't get it. Despite what Blackjack wants to tell you, these are still my people, and this is one of my changelings I'm trying to protect." "Oh, come on, Hart. He's letting an intruder into our sanctuary. One that took out 3 of ours and set them on fire." And then a third voice, "Please let me go. I have nothing to do with this." You can't tell where it's coming from, and it seems to be possibly 3 paths to take, other than the door going back out. One going up the scaffolding, trying to traverse the current level that you are, or dropping down a floor to one below. Or, well, do nothing. What would you like to do?
Where does the trail of this goo lead?
The trail of the goo seems to be going down.
We'll go down then.
Okay. You take the moment, just take a deep breath as you start to climb down the scaffolding, jumping to a floor below. You don't take any damage, it's just another floor, so about 10 feet below you. And you hear it start to creak and give way as you're sort of putting pressure on the area around you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
He has a 25.
Okay. You see the part that you were about to stand on, you were still holding on to it, and you see that it was very quick to just crumble and collapse as soon as you put your foot on the ground. So you sort of hold on to it and then find a more solid part on the ground to stand. And you hear the voices a little bit closer, but still very distant, go, "Oh yeah, you little squirt. If you didn't have anything to do with this, then why did the spades tell me that a changeling that looked just like you were showing around a man with a government uniform? The clubs told me to show him around." "The clubs, you say? Tell us more." You hear their voices echoing in this abandoned wall of this structure. After about 30 more feet of moving forward, it looks like you could either keep going straight or travel down further. But let's move over back to Virtue.
Oop.
Back to you.
Dear.
Think, I just keep thinking of a cute
Don't call me
Akai, right? Was it Akai?
Yes, it's a
Okay, Akai was about to go off about more of his theories.
His theories. Gotta mark something down very quickly. Okay, let's get back to it. Well, maybe they may not be the same person, but regardless of what my personal theory is, if it's wrong, the clubs and Elena are trying to get to the old killer using the new killer. Or it was the other way around, or they're trying to find the new killer. Whatever. They're trying to find a killer. And they're trying to find out all the information they can get on him. And in order to do so, they need access to this thing hidden somewhere in the capital. He points to a drawing of a small wooden chest with a very intricate lock system on it. Seems to be a button, something to put into. It needs 2 keys. One is a normal-looking lock with normal-looking key. However, the other one looks to be some kind of seal that needs to be broken off by dousing it in a vial of some kind of liquid. Something like this, he says, pointing to the picture of a misshapen vial. It looks to be almost curved into a heart shape with the little cork coming out the top. I know for a fact that Spade has this vial, or at least that's what the clubs in the capital are saying. And some sort of government official, the head of public affairs, holds the key, though I'm not quite sure why. From what the clubs tell me, that box holds exactly what we need to make this new killer come out of hiding. He frantically looks over his board trying to look for something, and he lands on an Ace of Spades card pinned to the board. If we can get the vial off of Spade, as well as find the key hidden within the capital, as he points towards the lock on the box, and find the hidden box, because I don't know where that is, then we have exactly what we need to get that new killer out and deal with him for good. And I know a way that you can get into the capital. You see a wide smile grow onto his face.
Interesting. And just circling back a little bit, why would you need the old killer?
You see, his face sort of drops a little bit, and he looks over to the picture that's sitting on the bedside table, and the flowers tipped over next to it. My father, Magnus, he died when I was 15. That old killer broke into our house. My father urged my mother and I to shift into someone else and run away, though he had to use his own body to push us out before he was, My mother ran to the suits as soon as she could. They've only been around for 2 years at that point, but it was enough for us to find sanctuary that we needed. We joined the Diamonds, the researchers of sorts in the suits, and I took my mother's last name, and we lived peacefully. It was great, but when the Diamonds started to get sick and not recover and slowly die out, that included my mother. He shakes off the thought. Since then, I've devoted my life to finding more about this old killer, the suits, and whatever God's awful things this city are hiding. I know I'm not physically strong, but if I can learn more, then I can find out my own way to get justice for my parents.
I'm truly sorry, and you're much stronger than you know.
It's fine. It's not your fault. It was 8 years ago, maybe more. Time kind of rolls by with all of that, but it at least got me a hobby. He says, gesturing to his board and kind of looking a bit disappointed in it. But yeah, that's why I want to find the old killer, and the clubs were the best way to do so, seeing as they're trying to find the new one. Maybe the new one can lead to the old one.
So, is it just you, or the clubs also have a want to use this new killer to find the old one?
I don't know that. The clubs are very secretive, especially to me because I'm technically not a part of them. He points to the diamond tattoo on his cheek. It's really hard to hide that fact. All I know is that they keep saying that if they find this new and old killer, then they could end that so they can start their own, or something like that. Not start their own killer, I don't think, but end the hardships that the city has to go through. If they can get them to stop thinking about the killers, and in the process, if the changelings were the ones to do it, then maybe the city wouldn't hate us no more.
Unfortunately, when it comes to this city, really, I don't... The capital and the people in there use fear and other things to control the people from within. They get these serial killers, but they never get caught. And that's because the capital never doesn't want them to get caught. It's fear. It's distracting the people from the real problem. And they're using you, the changelings, as that same factor. Using you to distract from the main problem. And that is the capital. If you really want to reform this place, the killers aren't where you need to start. It's the inside. Because they make it seem like everything is rotten on the outside and inside, but really it's core. The people within are the problem. The rulers, the governors. The killers are just decoy. You all not just decoys. They're using you.
You see, he looks to you, then looks towards his wall, and he starts to move some things over and take off the pictures of the wanted posters of the killers off of his wall and hold them in his hands and put them together. And then you see him move to the center of this large wall and stick the two pictures in the middle. Then maybe the killers are best bet in. Well, let's move over to Otto and Rock Crusher.
Yay.
Rock Crusher. This creature is about 2 feet away from you. What do you do?
What do I do? I try and get the fuck out of the tent. I'm
Who would've
fleeing.
thought? Who would have thought? Well,
Well, actually, is it a tent wall?
yeah, it seemed this entire building doesn't have any solid walls. It's all just covered by, it's just a tent with covered in fabric.
Okay, well then I'm gonna just take a knife and just cut a hole in the wall and leave through there. Not gonna like run away. I'm just trying to like, get out the tent.
Does a 18 hit you?
Nope.
Okay. As you run away from this creature, you see that it sort of tries to lurk at you and lunge at you, but miss. And Otto, you see Rock Crusher surprisingly running away from a creature, stabbing a knife into the tent and making a hole in it. I'll say that
Oh,
takes
that's-
your action, if that's what you want to do.
Can I like have a look? I heard her call it like a corroder or something. Does it look like it's perhaps corroding some stuff?
It make a perception check.
God damn it, 9.
It hasn't necessarily moved a lot, but you can just see that this ball of something is sort of just sitting on this chair, sort of just growling at you and thrashing towards you, and as you leave, it turns its attention towards Otto. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Enter a rage. Why not?
Enjoy range. Okay,
Just in case.
gotcha.
Yeah, that ends my turn.
Okay, Otto, you're next.
How far is it from me?
It is 10 feet away from you.
No, can I see Otto as well?
Yes. You saw Otto run in before combat started.
I'm probably going to back up 30 feet.
In a tent, though.
Well, I came in through the entrance, so I imagine the entrance is behind me.
It's gonna turn away and run.
Hey man, if that's what Otto wants to do, that's what Otto wants to do.
Yeah,
But there is enough room in this tent to back away 30 feet, yes.
yeah.
And I was planning to use Eldritch Blast on it.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Yay! Yeah, last thing I wanted was Otto to end up accidentally splattering random goo on themselves if
Random
it worked
goo.
like that. Because also, really quickly, as I roll these, I'm curious: when Otto first saw the creature with True Sight, is there anything interesting about it, or does it just look like a normal pile of goo?
It's
Well, as normal as it can be.
as normal as a pile of goo can be. You could see it like shifting around as if it's like a changeling trying to shift into different people, but like its big glob self isn't actually doing anything. It's just sitting there shifting around as different shapes. You can see it turn into a square at one point, a big blob of heart. It's not very physical. It's definitely shifting around a lot, but not to any person. Just it's still a very obviously a creature.
Yeah, I get that. So we have a 30,
That hits.
a natural 20, that will make it a 32.
Ouch. Yes, that hits.
And then 12 plus 12 is 24.
All 3 of those hit.
Nice. So 4 d10s. Yay, we love math. Why is Dandy not working? There we go. That will be a 45. Ow.
Okay. You throw just blast and blast and blast at this creature, and you see it one hits both of the shoulders, then directly in the head, as you see it sort of just getting pushed down smaller and smaller. It seems that it's physically become a lot smaller. It is definitely still there, but it sort of like groans like, ugh, as if it was definitely hurt. Let's just say that. But it is still alive. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Let's see. No.
Okay. Next is the corrosion. As you see, its small little body definitely heavily damaged from Otto's blasts sort of gargle up as you see something bellow inside of it, and it just spits out smaller little blobs, 2 towards Otto and 1 towards Rock Crusher. So Otto.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Does a 6 hit?
Nope. You just barely missed.
Oh shit, I got so close. Oh shit. And then a nat 20.
No, you were gonna. I was about to say you're gonna say shit, and then you're gonna get.
What can I say? I mean, it's the dice, it's not me. It's right
I
there.
can't. That was funny. I can't.
And then
A crit for a crit, people.
but Rock Crusher, fuck a 7.
Yeah.
So
No.
Fuck, I'm blind.
shit.
Eyes. It's in my eyes.
Do I have the right dice for this?
How do
No,
I
is the
roll
answer to
a
that
con
question.
save?
What the hell?
Plot twist.
Hold on. I had the wrong dice out. Where the fuck? Okay, I got it. Okay. Because it's a critical. Ooh.
Critical for a critical, I guess.
I'm trying to do math in my head.
Stop doing math in your head.
You take a 36 acid damage, and can you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
What happened?
Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
I said that as a shits and giggles. What the fuck?
Did you hear how much damage you took?
No, I did not.
Shit, it was just in my head. I think it was 32, 35. I can't remember. 36.
wow.
That's what it was. I remember.
Damn.
36. I got a critical. What can I say?
So, fun fact.
But it was dead.
I got a 10. And you said
Ooh.
36 for damage?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You know what? I don't. Fuck, is it? Wait, is it a reaction? Can I use it as a reaction? I can. I don't feel like taking the damage, so I want to use a reaction to entomb myself in ice.
Okay.
You know, all of a sudden, Otto just gets this feeling. It's just like, no.
Does it fully negate any damage, or do you still take some?
It basically you'd have to go through 150 HP in order for me to start taking damage.
Okay, so you still took it, but it just went towards the ice, not you.
Yes.
Let me just write down something very quickly.
And
You got a 10 on the con save, did you say?
well, does it have to physically touch me for that to have the con save?
I'll say roll again and then take the higher number. So just roll with it with advantage,
Okay.
but you already did the first one.
All right, yeah, I get that. Soft 20. Holy shit.
You lucky bastard. That actually fails now. You lucky bitch.
So guys, Otto starts melting.
I always forget to ask, what does it look like when you encase yourself in ice?
So basically, Otto will basically like raise their hands, and then it's just think Avatar, just whoof, ice.
I just imagine May from Overwatch.
Oh my God,
You're just
that's
there, and then you just
better.
like.
Even better. May from Overwatch. Just you see Otto huddled together, somehow
Fetal
jump in the air.
position.
Yeah, just fetal position, and you can't even see through the ice. So it's just
Okay. But that is the end of the Corrosion's turn, and we're going to move over to Maverick.
Hey.
Maverick,
I'll be
it
right back.
seems I'll re-describe that there's a way for you to keep going straight, or you could travel down further. What would you like to do?
Where's the goo? Where's the goo going?
Make a survival check as you see it's starting to sort of trail, or like the trail is starting to fade out slightly, and it's harder for you to see it.
Alright.
Where the goo gone?
Where'd the goo go?
How's a natural 20?
Bitch, the fuck? I guess we all got one. We all got one. Other than Rock Crusher. But
I didn't get in yet.
or Virtue. But you're talking. You're not fighting or investigating.
Oh, where did my dice go?
You can tell that the trail, though it's getting a lot more faded, your senses are kind of like locking in better than they did when you're at the door, and you can tell that it is continuing to go down farther.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I'm sorry, can you say that I just saw the gift that Victoria sent in the D&D general and I just
Lock in.
completely distracted me.
Well, let me see what you got cooking up here.
Sorry.
Yes. What the fuck? Anyways.
It made me laugh and it distracted me.
I'm sorry, I just found it and I couldn't lose it. I had
You
to.
know me, Victoria!
Good.
You know me!
You can see, though it's very faded now, it's getting harder to see. Your vision has sort of locked in a bit better than when you're at the door, and you can tell that it is continuing to go down farther.
Where does it sound like the voices are coming from?
Make a perception check.
Reception? Dice, don't fail me now.
Don't fail me now.
16?
16. You can tell that the way that you going down first was definitely the right direction to go. And you can tell that it seems that this trail is leading closer to the voices.
I'm gonna continue following the trail.
Okay, is at this point where I ask, are you trying to be sneaky about this?
I... I don't think I am. 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 Yes.
Well,
And I can't use my fucking tattoo thing. Damn it.
well. Can
Um.
you make a stealth check for me? A stealth check for me, please.
No, no check.
Oh,
Clank.
Yeah, a little stealth check.
this is just a small one, just a little one.
16.
Damn.
And that was with disadvantage.
Damn. Okay, I'll keep that. I'll keep that in mind. You see that there's actually a ladder that you can take to get farther down. Some lucky worker had placed it in the exact spot that you want to go. So you climb your way down this ladder, trying to be as careful as possible. It looks pretty crickety and rusted over, but you make it down easily. And as you make it down, you almost hear skittering moving from behind the ladder. And it sounds very close, as if it's right next to you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Ah! So many rolls. 25 again.
Okay. From behind the ladder, you see a little creature jump out from the ladder into your vision, and you see that it's white. It's very small. It almost looks furry with bunny ears and red eyes jumping from behind this ladder and towards you. It looks up to you and does nothing. It's just a little rabbit, but you don't get hit by it. How does Maverick feel about this little rabbit?
um. She's frozen in fear. She's staring at it.
You see its nose sort of scrunch up a little bit as it looks up to you and tilts to the side, and when it sees you not moving at all, it just sort of hops away from you. I'm glad you didn't say that you screamed, because that would not have been very stealthily. Anyways, you hear
He's
that the
actively shaking.
voices have gotten louder. They've gotten a lot louder, and they've also gotten a lot angrier as you hear this conversation continue. The clubs told me to. They said that the government official was going around to the different suits to ask what the Capitol needed to do for help, and they tasked me to lead them around. And if so, then why did we see that same government official at the pyre less than 30 minutes after you showed him around? I'm trying to help you here, but you're really making this harder than it needs to be. Wait, no, please, I'm telling the truth. Please, anything but that, stop! It looks like the way to go straight has completely collapsed in on itself, only making it to where you could either choose to go farther up and forward or farther down and forward. But we're going to move over back to Virtue.
Hi.
Virtue, Akai has just told you that maybe the best way to get into the capital is through the killers. What do you do?
Perhaps. I wouldn't use them as leverage because, oh god, the capital does not care about them at all. But if you were maybe to even manage to get one on your side, you could use them.
I guess. I just don't know how we get in. I agree with you that the capital is onto something. I have an old theory about it, and you see he sort of uncovers a little bit of a part of the curtain is still covering the wall, and he flips it up. I know that they're planning something. I didn't want to think about it. I just don't know how to get into the capital. I'm definitely... Oh my god, I forgot his accent. I was thinking about Nux the whole time. I'm definitely not the right person for it. But I guess I could possibly try to find a killer to get in there for me.
Ooh, oh, I don't like this. This feels like a trap. I don't like it. Well, I'm not too sure about using this new killer because, in all admittance, the fresher the blood, the more loyal they are. I don't think our killer here has had the time to realize what they're doing might be in vain or wrong in some kind of way. But if your old killer is still alive, they might be able to prove some use because obviously they're no longer working for the capital.
You sound too good to be true.
A new killer.
The only issue is that A, I don't know why the old killer left, and B, as you already said, could be dead.
You know what? I'm gonna. Can I insight this? Because I'm kind of sitting here like I could do something here and offer myself, but I technically am the person that killed their dad. I feel like that is the worst way to pop out.
Hey man, go for it, man.
That is plus 14, 10, 31.
You can tell, he has drawn back part of the curtain and he's sort of looking at it, rubbing onto his temples. His mind definitely flipping through a lot as his eyes are sporadically looking through it. It seems that he's doing this all genuinely of heart, like there's no one else attached to this than just him, as he's sort of like almost a bit excited that you're actually listening to him because it doesn't seem anyone else has. But you don't necessarily know if he would take it the best, or he doesn't have any weapons on him, but you just don't know how he'd emotionally react to seeing the person that killed his father face to face. I will say the part of the sort of wall of evidence that you see that was covered up, you see that there's even more drawings, pictures, and specifically a newsletter. You see that there are drawings resembling tablae, some that you presume that he drew because they look to be personal drawings. There's drawings of the 4 suits, there's drawings of the man with 4 masks that you saw outside, and in the middle there is a newsletter. Pictures of the creatures that circle the Capitol building that you've seen in person. And all of the evidence around it is connected to this one picture. That's something else that you do take note of.
Marcinge will approach the wall, kind of looking at the mask, the guy with the many masks, and kind of like point at it. Who is this fellow? I saw him earlier. He tried talking to me.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry for that. He's kind of weird. I don't know who he is, but he just shows around. He just is around all the time. I don't know if he's in the clubs, though I've seen him in the Capitol before. But I've also seen him in the quarantine ward transporting people to the Capitol too, so he may be a spade. I've never talked to him personally myself. But I just know he's up to something more, specifically with these, as he points at the monsters that are circling the Capitol, these zombies.
And just to confirm, I'm pretty sure this was asked in the past. These are new, right? Like, these weren't around when I was doing shit.
Yes.
She looks at us like, yeah, those are quite new from what I remember. I don't know much when it comes to those.
You must not be from around here. At least gone for 3 years.
I used to be here. I ended up leaving for my own safety.
Well, these creatures, the headline is many homeless from new guards being stationed at the Capitol. What are these creatures? Are they protecting us or killing us? Something like that. If you left so long ago, then you'd know that the big Capitol building wasn't really here until about 3 years ago. It's way too fancy and definitely doesn't fit into the city at all. And when it was built, these slowly started to surround the building. I didn't notice them at all until the diamonds were gone. But every month since they started showing up, he holds on to the newspaper and flips it up, revealing one from 11 months ago, and then 10 months ago, and then continuing all the way down. In each picture, the creatures surrounding the building, it seems to be the same shot a month later every time. But the creatures seem to be getting bigger and bigger in every picture. They're getting bigger and stronger. And if what you said is true about us all being pawns, I wonder what these things are.
Now having better, closer up photos of them, since we've been to a couple planes, do they look like they belong to anything specific?
Roll a history check.
Yeah. Oh my god, I got my nat 20! Let's go!
Guys, I guess we're just letting one around everywhere. What the heck?
Yay, it's my turn!
It's your turn, you did it!
And then you tell me I know nothing.
You know nothing, no. These creatures, especially because you know Holta to naturally not have any creatures. The only time you've ever seen anything non-humanoid was in the underground with the rock elementals that Spine had some control over, but that was also where you saw Demis's heart. There was in Oslanis when you saw those ghostly creatures, and inside the reflective water when those water creatures were alive, but they were around Midas's heart. You've only ever seen them around some sort of action with the Guardians or something otherworldly. So you can't connect it to any plane of existence other than your own, but you know that it's definitely not normal to see other beings. Like, you've seen one dragon, maybe two if you count Rock Crusher, but other than that, there's no other monstrous creature on Holta. But
what I was meaning is, like, we've been to Dennis's plane, we've been to Midas's plane, we've been to, like, the one where it was, like, a forest, like, the interdimensions and all of that. And we've also been to the one where we had our copies, and it was, like, that forest and all that. I was meaning that from all the places and the other planes that we have been to, do they look like they belong from any certain one that I have personally been to?
From those two, as in Kane, Drawhadux, or the Interdimension, it does not seem like you have seen those creatures before. But we're going to move over to Otto and Rock Crusher while I let you sit on that a little bit. Rock Crusher, it is your turn. This creature is very, very small. Seems it's been weakened a lot from the blows that Otto made to it. What would you like to do?
Well, I see that it can in fact be harmed. And being a, intelligent dragon man creature,
don't know if I'd say that, but whatever you want to believe.
Well, I would say that, so.
Okay.
Also knowing that it's called a corroder, I'm not going to use my nice weapons. Can I get a dex save, please?
Yes, sir. 14.
Fails.
No! No!
It takes 16 points of fire damage as I breathe fire on it.
And we're gonna get sued for property damage.
No. Okay. It's collateral.
Collateral, definitely. How do you want to kill it?
Fire.
Any
I'm just
flare,
gonna, have you seen Shin Godzilla?
Yes, I've seen some clips.
Where he does the breath, it starts off just a load of fire, and it gets narrower and narrower and narrower until it's just like a fucking, like, just beam.
Yes, I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just gonna get narrower, it's gonna get, like, bluer and bluer until I'm essentially just, like, blowtorching it.
Okay. As you're sort of skewering this fire into this creature more and more and more, you see this creature start to physically melt away, half because of the heat. And you see that its body looks more and more human-shaped, as it melts into a pile on the floor. It gargles, and the gargles turn into muffled screams before it becomes weak and faded as the creature falls to the ground in a puddle. The liquid looking awfully similar to other types that you've seen before. But
EVA
with
glue.
that... Exactly. It's Elmer's glue, actually. With that, combat has ended. What would you two like to do?
It's okay, everyone. So the danger's over. You can come out now.
You see...
I'm just like take a javelin out and just like prod the goo, see if it does anything.
As you skewer into this goo, you see that you stick your javelin in, and you see the goo almost sort of like try and stick onto it as if it's still sort of like moving around on your javelin stick as more people sort of like come out of hiding, and you see someone go, "Wasn't that the dragon that saved Club and Spade?" And they go, yeah, it was. And they're like, "Hail the dragon! Hail the dragon!" As you see them shape-shifting into a image of you and sort of just start cheering you on, as if a group of you is cheering yourself on.
What a sight to behold.
I'd look at Otto and just like, yeah, well, you know. Give a little shrug.
Otto probably is out of the ice by this point, and is just watching, like, chop liver over here.
You can call us fire and ice.
Even though Otto did most of the damage. Anyways, what would you guys like to do?
That doesn't matter though.
Otto's just sitting there like, what? I did most of the damage.
Thank you. The assist was appreciated. It just kind of catch me off guard a little bit.
Yay, Rock Crusher.
Let's see if can I see the tattoo lady?
You see that she's sort of still outside the parlor, but through the cut that you made in the curtain is sort of just looking in and is sort of just like distraught over all of the spilled jars of this very magical liquid on the ground. Her basically lab is destroyed. She's just like looking.
Sorry.
My lab.
If it...
Also, sorry about the tent wall. Yeah, I'll pay for that. Don't worry.
Can't pay for those. She points towards
pay.
the magical liquid on the ground.
You're right, I can't pay for those.
Where can you get your hands on that stuff?
I could, like, try and drum up some business for you if you wanted, though. You know, like, here, check out these sweet tats. Give them like a recommendation, you know, an unofficial sponsorship kind of deal.
You see,
An act of
her
kindness.
face is very saddened, but she just slowly nods and looks to you. That would be very appreciated. I'm sorry you had to get hurt by one of those things. You aren't infected, are you?
Oh, it didn't touch me.
Yeah.
It's like,
Thank the
oh no, it
saints.
didn't touch me right, and just do like pull my arms and do like a 360. You know, like, it's nothing on me, right?
I was like, I walk over and just like look over. No, you're all clean. I think I'm good. It kind of hit the ice though, and I'm like look over at the melted ice. Yeah, well, you can see little droplets right there.
You ruined the carpet. It's just water everywhere,
Yeah, sorry about the water damage.
and the fire damage as well. Just double check to make sure it's not like there's nothing's caught on fire as well.
You're good.
my
You're
favorite.
good, brother. It was so
Huge.
centralized on that one spot that that you're good.
So, tell us a little bit more about the creature we just kind of beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a bit more about it after we talk to Maverick.
Yeah, just
Halloween's over, Claire.
Fuck. Ho ho ho.
Whoa.
How about that?
Yeah.
I love Christmas bit. Anyways, as I said before, you see that you can either go up or down. Up or down. And with your natural 20 survival check, I will say that it seems like the trail is leading farther down, but it is very close. I could say the voices sound very close.
Let's go down.
Okay,
Follow the
Queen.
trail. Follow the trail.
You hear the shouts from the victim growing louder, as if you can feel yourself. You know that you're getting closer and closer to them. You reach this bottom floor, and it looks very similar to a basement of any building, though it's very collapsed and destroyed. You know, they were building, though the construction has stopped. The walls are made of stone, the bare bones of the structure covering, and there's a ceiling as well that has a lot of holes in it, so it's letting in a lot of natural light as well. Okay. You can tell that rounding one more corner, you'd most likely reach whatever has drawn your attention to this area. You can hear, as you reach this bottom floor, the three beings talking again. We told you, Chip, the suits don't like traitors. But if you can't be useful to us, you can still be useful to the capital. The less you struggle, the easier it will be. You're a traitor. You promised to protect and care for all of us, but you're just as bad as Blackjack. You can hear both of them gasping at the same time. Chip, how dare you? We must report this at once. If you make it through it, that is. We promise to give you the proper punishment for such vile words against the Blackjack. No, don't leave me here. No! As you see, or more here, I'm not going to do it because I got roommates. The changeling screaming in this agonizing pain. What do you do?
Oh no.
What do you do?
So I'm like around the corner from where they are.
Mm-hmm. His gargles get
What
greater
can I do?
and
What can I do? What
greater
can I do?
as
can I do?
he's
What can I do?
struggling more and more, though it seems he's not winning.
I technically, if I attack them right now, it would be a surprise round, right?
That is true.
If you're able to surprise them.
You hear his yells become much more gargled and a lot more distant and weak.
Can I? I wanna.
There are ways you could maybe try and alert other people to your location.
What? I'd like it as I'd like. Oh no. Is there like any rocks that are?
There are plenty of rocks,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's only one rock crusher.
There's only one crusher of them, but there are a few rocks.
I want to throw a rock anywhere that like would just anywhere. I'd
Are you trying to
at a
draw
wall,
attention, or are you trying...
draw attention to it.
Throw a rock at the guy in the chair.
So you're not
Put it
throwing
on
it
his
into the room, you're just throwing it somewhere else to draw noise.
Trying to make noise outside the room.
You'd use like a... Oh, okay, like a... Oh, what was that?
Okay. Well, you can just throw a rock, I will say.
Yeah.
Make a strength check to throw it. No, you could throw the rock. You throw it and slam it as hard as you can against the wall right across from you. And as you do, you hear the noise from the man, well, where there was a man, which had turned into gargles, fade until it's nothing. And replaced in it are these like low grumbles.
I think
Currently
you'd
getting
actually...
tortured, you say.
Yeah.
Speaking
Sorry, my
of that,
Wi-Fi cut out.
No, it's okay.
Okay, as all I'm gonna say is that the heart that you mentioned the two people that were in there, and not only that, normally that protecting people thing comes with the label of innocent and a traitor to a group. Doesn't exactly count
No.
as innocent, so I'm gonna.
I don't think you get to pick and choose with oaths. I think, the whole point is anyone, really, that needs protecting. Sort of the oath. You don't get... There's no small print that's like, except for bad people.
Tisk.
Look at most paladin oaths. A lot of times it's protect the innocent, and normally there is that fine line of protect the innocent. They don't want you seeing some terrible person who kicked babies, like getting jumped, and go, oh, I have to protect that person because they're getting jumped, even though they kick babies. Normally there is that line, unless if when Jordan decided to make this oath, that Jordan specifically was like, yo, yeah, literally anyone, even if they're the worst person alive, should be protected.
But she doesn't have a lot of information right now. Going off
well,
of this.
shall I continue to give you more information? Now that my computer's decided to work?
Still being tortured.
I'm
Well,
fully
that's
prepared
not
for Mac
exactly what I
bucket
said.
right now.
That's not exactly what I said. You hear gargled. It sounds a lot less like a human and much more like something else. As you sort of hear this like slushing sound as if something wet is moving against rock. And you hear this slimy sound get closer and closer to you. However, by the time that it passes where you can see that it's nothing but a puddle of liquid that has started to trail towards you in a way that you could see it. Not necessarily towards you, but just out of this room. and then you're drenched back in silence.
Oh no.
Shoot a
Out of
fireball.
character
Yeah.
right now, the worst person to be in this situation right now, I think, is Maverick. She is a fire genasi paladin with disadvantage to stealth and a ball of fire for hair.
Hey man, you're in silence now. There's nothing but a puddle of liquid in front of you.
Okay, really quick, I'm gonna,
Real quick, yeah. Yeah, it's real quick.
she's gonna, like, touch her, like, just, like, hug herself, almost.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna put resistance on myself.
Okay. Well, I'll let you think a little bit more on what you want to do, and we'll go to virtue.
Yeah.
You got lucky that you had virtue right, that you were the last, and you got virtue right after you, okay?
Oh god. Okay. I was stressing so hard.
You,
For Maverick. Okay.
I'm stressing for myself! I'm
And-
prepared to get... Okay, you don't understand! I'm prepared to die right now!
and somehow, you know. Anyways,
You're a level 15 paladin.
the
You're like the
last-
strongest. You're like the strongest person for like 40 miles around. Just go in there and punch them. You'll be fine. You have like 200 hit points.
Ladies, you're both beautiful. Calm down. Let's keep it pushing.
Let's just shush, child. Shush.
It's okay.
I'm right.
Shush, both of you. Okay.
Well, were you the
So-
one in that situation? Continue, virtue. Continue.
I will be.
Looking at these things and having a little bit more time to digest what you said, I'm curious, and this can even be directed also towards my friend here, Akai. I keep thinking of a cute Akai. It's the only reason why I remember his name. But from when I saw the Capitol, and I will say this outwardly, it's just I'm gonna explain it in my normal voice,
Mm-hmm.
is there any symbol, because there's this big block and it looks out of place for being in this realm. It's like, it's big, it's advanced, there's these creatures that are not native to Holta at all. Was there anything on there that would either resemble the appearance that we know as the creator in design wise, or is there anything with broken skulls by the Capitol or on those creatures?
Make a history check.
No, we got an 18.
You don't remember anything specifically related to the creator's form. You only saw her once, and from what you saw, you'd be able to tell if it was connected to the creator. The only thing that you could possibly think of, but it's a bit of a stretch, is the fact that the top of the Capitol building looks like a head. But it doesn't look like a skull. It doesn't look broken. It's definitely not broken. But that's the closest thing that you can think of. But on the Capitol building, you can't see anything from the creator.
I had to rule that out in my brain.
I have a way for you to possibly learn more and help, maybe. But it'd require a lot of talent, strength, friends, probably. Stealthy friends.
Well, good thing I have friends with a lot of talent and strength to them.
Great.
Cool.
Well, I still think that getting the box would be useful. I was told by the clubs, by Elena even, that they were gonna use whatever they found in the box to get to the killer. I don't believe the clubs are doing anything to harm. So maybe using whatever's in that box, you can get to the killer and what you originally came here to do, find Elena. But that's only if you want to possibly, threaten your own life to do so. It's up to you.
At this point, I'm beginning to think it is the only lead I have, so I am interested in this. Perhaps either if you feel comfortable, that I could bring my whole group of friends here and you could explain to us all the plan. Or we can play telephone and you can tell me.
Well, the only thing that I have is that after the weekly meetings we have here, they go to the quarantine ward and take the ill and injured to the Capitol to test out the antidote, or do whatever they do in the Capitol. So if you could manage, after one of those weekly meetings, to disguise as one of those sickly, or manage to blend in with them, get into the Capitol, then all I gotta do is find the vial from Spade and the key from the public affairs officers and the box, and you basically have the killer and your ex in your grasp.
That plan sounds like it can go sideways in so many ways.
But that's what makes it fun. And, it's high risk, high reward.
And when is the next weekly meeting going to happen?
He looks down at his wrist, which does not have a watch on it because it doesn't exist yet. 20 minutes?
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. I can go find my party and see if we would be able to even pull that off at such short notice. And Virtue would begin to make their way out, but would pause and look at Akai. And by the way, when it comes to these killers, I think your theory with using the other killer to find the old one would be right. But do make sure to keep your distance, because this new one, they're not stable in the slightest, and how they choose their victims has no order to them most of the time.
I'll make sure. I have sanctuary in here. I'm safe for the most part. You should be the one that I'm giving you that warning to.
Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll update you if I find out anything else.
If you believe so, just know you're always welcome here. Just say that Akai sent you. Not acute. Akai sent you.
Akai.
Exactly. Though if they're gone, then I don't know who's going to be putting me with that nickname. Beside the point. Good luck.
Thank you. And Virtue will leave the tent in an attempt to find their party.
Okay. Well, speaking of said party, we move over to Otto and Rock Crusher. As you are next to Kit, a tattoo artist, and she goes, I thought those that were just a myth, a corrosion. Those are the... I don't know. People have a theory that they just start spawning... I'm sorry, my mind is so jumbled. We've been seeing them a lot more around, not just here, but Vaus. We don't know where they came from. they haven't really been hurting, but the more that they touch, the bigger that they get. We don't know where they come from, but we think that they started here and went out. But most people try to ignore the fact that they're even here. I mean, look at them, as she points out, and sees that the city has already become just as naturally peppy as it was, as if people are trying to forget the fact that there even was a small fight. They already forgot that this happened.
Ignorance is bliss, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's kind of what you want, and you don't want people really lingering on it.
If only we knew how it started. First one we've seen in weeks, though. Guess you just got unlucky. She tries to laugh it off, scratching her neck.
It tends to happen with us.
It must be a very stressful life for you.
Oh, you get used to it.
Yeah. Could be worse.
It's never boring.
Yeah.
At this time, Virtue, you find two of your companions. Maverick, don't know where Maverick is. But you see both of them talking to this changeling covered head to toe in tattoos with a large amount of piercings all across her face. Says she's sort of just explaining, and they're listening to them by this tattoo parlor. You can't tell necessarily what's going on, but the tattoo parlor is definitely jumbled up and destroyed, so something happened.
A little bit of fire. There's a water spot for some reason.
She was gonna walk over, not exactly surprised by the random destruction. Just kind of walk up to Rakush and I was like, sorry to interrupt, could I speak to you two for a moment?
Huh? Oh,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. It was nice meeting you. And I was gonna wait for them to say their name or something.
Kit.
Kit. Very nice to meet you, Kit.
Kit's tattoos. Yes.
That actually has a good ring to it. Anyways, it was nice meeting you. Sorry about the shop. We'll make sure to talk about your really good tattoos.
Yeah, check these out. So I pull my arms and shove the to me hey, check this out.
Oh,
I
you guys
should do
tattoo?
flowers.
Yeah.
You think you know how to do flowers, Kit? How well?
I can do flowers, but I just don't have any equipment anymore.
Yeah. Well, when you get equipment again, I'm definitely coming over. Damn, look at these tattoos. So detailed. Damn, Rockrusher.
Have they taken at this point?
Not all the way.
Say again?
Not all the way, no.
Yeah.
But after you're done talking with your companions, they will be.
Cool. So yeah, that's just starting to first looks like a regular tattoo, now it's starting to sort of move around a little bit.
Anyways, Virtue, you want to talk with us? Let's go somewhere.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes, somewhere a little bit away from the crowd, please.
Okay.
Okay. Before you three talk, we got one more party member to get to, don't we? Maverick. You are in this abandoned structure that you got to from a wooden door behind a random curtain. And you have just a pile of liquid. It's a very large pile of liquid, but a pile of liquid in front of you. It seems to be the same liquid that made out of the trail, but there's nothing around you. And you don't hear any voices from the two other people that was in that room either. What would you like to do?
He's gonna try and go back the way that she came.
Okay, well, lucky for you, because you just went down, 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 down. It's pretty fucking easy to get back up.
Mm-hmm.
A little scarred.
Oh,
You
boy.
when you go back, you also see that small little white rabbit on your way back as well, but you just try and go back as fast as you can, scurrying up the ladder. You see it break slightly as you're done, but you're like, I never want to go back down there anyway. As you make it out of this abandoned structure. And what are you doing once you get out? Back through the wooden door that you broke in?
Make sure that no one was following me.
Make a perception check.
Where's my perception? Oh my god. Fuck. I got a 5.
Doesn't look.
shit.
I don't know.
I got a 5.
You're more concerned about, covering the door with the curtain than, like, seeing if anyone actually followed you in or out. So, like, I couldn't tell you personally.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh god. She looks very paranoid now.
Well, I guess this is where I take over as
Yeah.
you three, the rest of you three, go out of this tent and start heading farther down to just get a secluded area away from the big jumble of the city. And as you walk past, you have to do a double take, but you just see a fire genasi standing there, shivering in their timber, shivering in their boots, just staring off into space, not moving, right in front of a curtain. None of you can see the trail, I'm sorry to say. You have to do a double take. You walk by him, then you look back, and you're like, oh, it's nobody. Then you look back again, and you're like, Maverick. As you have all combined again.
Or she'd probably be the walk over to Maverick, be like, oh, good, I thought I'd have to look for you. You alright?
You look a little shaken up.
How about talk about it? Not here.
We were going to talk about something else, not here, actually, first.
Yes,
Oh, okay, let's.
came out with,
Kind of
I
shady
have an
anyway.
idea, and it's a bad one. But I'm allowed to have bad ideas sometimes, so...
Uh-huh.
Okay,
I
there's
can
no
bring
such
us
thing as,
into a room.
there's no such thing as a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
You have proven that wrong yourself, Rakasha. Now,
I'm still
Alright.
here, aren't I?
let's all find
Got you
someplace we
there,
can
but that's
walk.
not a crime. Okay.
Wow, what a nice secluded space.
Nice little space. Are you trying not to be followed? You're trying to be sneaky,
Yes.
I should
I
say.
was literally saying,
I'd say I don't think we're trying necessarily to be super sneaky, because we'd expecting a timbered paladin to be sneaky.
I'm kind of like a local celebrity at the point. When people
Yeah.
just shape-shifting into
Timber-
me.
We've got a local celebrity.
I will be
And
looking
a-
though to make sure no one's. I'm not trying to act like we're doing anything suspicious. Just we're a party. We're a gang of friends going to a secluded area.
Gang of
What's wrong with that?
friends.
But
Okay.
I would be watching it to make sure no one was following us.
What's your passive perception?
A roll.
My passive perception is a 19.
Okay, if you guys don't want to be sneaky about it, then we can just move on to a secluded area.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any point in me being sneaky because I would get like a double.
Hey
this
man,
is
you were
right
sneaky
now.
once. You were sneaky while you were alone in the maze. You did.
And
I mean,
now
you want
I-
to try being sneaky? Do you want like? I just don't think. I'm not sure if it's gonna be
Hey,
worth it,
man.
but we could try.
I don't
wanna
think
try?
I don't think it's worth it to be sneaky.
You
I'm
don't have to be
like
sneaky. if you don't
I'll
want to be
try.
sneaky.
I'm not sneaking.
Okay.
I'm not sneaking.
I don't know why. I said something earlier, and I'm just imagining everyone's just talking to themselves about being sneaky or not. And I was just walking over to a wall and opening a door that leads to, the whole room that no one can have access to, that everyone could casually sneak
You
in
know
with no
what?
one
That is an
eavesdropping.
amazing idea, Otto. That's like the best
No,
idea
no,
you've
okay, here's the
ever
thing.
Like
had.
as everyone's
Yeah.
arguing about whether to be quiet about it.
No, because the thing was, I said it. I actively
the
said it. I said, hey, why don't we just go into the room? And then everyone just spoke over Otto. I
Okay.
was like, fine, damn.
Hold on.
We're too
I
busy
did
talking about
not-
being sneaky.
I
I did not hear
that.
this. I don't think Arak heard that, or Jordan. And Claire, did you hear that?
I plead the fifth.
Yo,
Okay, so Claire
said-
didn't hear it. So
That's not what she said.
It makes it more funny. It makes it more funny.
Okay, we're in the room.
Yes,
we're in the room.
please, room.
You're in the
Progress.
room.
Thank you.
Door's been
Mhm.
closed. No one can come in. No
It's
one
a
can
whole
leave.
different dimension, basically.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Virtue,
actually what it is.
Virtue, speak first.
Alright, so in about 20 minutes, the changelings are going to have a meeting. After these meetings, they take some of the 6 changelings to the capital in order to test out this antidote. While talking to my new friend Akai, he told me this and said that there is this box that is inside of the capital that apparently has something in this that will help lure out both of the new and old killer. Virtue's gonna give everyone a look.
Oh,
Don't
fucking
know what that
eyebrow.
is.
So,
Okay.
but,
Interesting.
and I've been not exactly tasked, but I've been offered with the idea of helping. And this idea would not only get us into the capital, possibly seamlessly, I'd be able to see what in the world is going on with Elena, and possibly figure out what is so important about this box. That no one quite knows what's in it, just that it will help discover these killers. But it would require some, if not all of us. Virtue again is kind of gonna look at Maverick like,
To be sneaky.
to possibly disguise ourselves as some of these sick changelings in order to be taken into the capital. I think this idea can go wrong in so many ways, but it is the only idea that I've been given.
I
Yeah, I can make her sneaky. I can walk through walls as well now.
Oh, that's a tattoo you got. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I like
don't
that tattoo.
have.
Literally nothing is safe from me anymore.
I don't think I have the capability of doing that
Dude, just take the armor off.
I've been
and leave myself defenseless.
I've been told that this mission would require a little bit of talent, a little bit of strength, and I know that the 3 of us can camouflage and do that, but Maverick, unfortunately, you don't really have the
Talent.
pizzazz.
I can turn Maverick into a small creature and just hide her in like a pocket or something.
I like
like-
that idea.
If something goes wrong, you like throw
Just
a rat
don't-
and turns into a paladin, a
Do
Pokemon.
not, for the love of the gods,
Maverick,
do not
go.
make me turn into a bunny. Do not make me
Maverick,
turn
I
into a
choose
bunny.
you. Why?
Why don't you make them
why?
Why don't you make them into a cockroach so they're so small that no one will notice
No,
them?
that's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
I don't.
They are riddled with diseases.
Make
You
him look a little like field mouse.
okay?
I would prefer to be a
Wait,
mouse.
okay. No, maybe not a mouse.
How about okay? How about
a
how
cat.
about this? How about a baby spider? Those are even smaller than the
No.
average cockroach.
We're just gonna,
What's
like,
wrong
like
with
stepping-
spiders?
For
like,
real.
Stepping on her.
Like I was gonna open their arm and a bunch of spiders are gonna start pouring out.
I forgot about that. Holy shit.
Like I have a ton of spiders
my
inside of me.
stirrups.
I'm quite literally hollow. I think. I have spiders living in me, guys.
Oh, how cute.
I know they're wolf spiders, so they're
Oh,
big as
God.
fuck.
Okay.
So adorable.
Hey,
Focus.
why
Ew.
wolf spiders? Those are not the. Okay, out of character, wolf spiders are fucking mean. Why wolf spiders? I live with those bitches.
I love
They try
wolf spiders.
attacking me.
Because you have bad vibes.
Well, these wolf spiders are friendly. They're mine. So
They're my spiders.
for, yeah,
How about
I'm
you
just
make
mad.
me just a cute little fuzzy mouse, okay?
if we make you okay,
Oh, the
Maverick, here's
arguments
the
of a
problem.
century.
Okay, Maverick, here's the problem with turning you into any form of mammal. There is a good chance you'll get spotted easier. That's why I want to turn you into something like a cockroach, a spider, a small insect, because
What about
there's
a
way
lizard?
less.
How about an ant
What about a
Yes,
lizard?
an
or a
ant.
fly?
A gecko?
No.
We're not doing reptilians, nor are we doing.
Oh,
small
They,
you got a
they hate
problem?
your ass.
You got a problem with reptilians, Otto? Huh? That's
No,
what
I
you
don't
want to
have a-
say to me?
No.
I don't have
Okay.
a problem with them.
How about an
but it's gonna
ant or a fly?
I would.
We
What
need
about-
something that can't be detected, and unfortunately, a mouse can be very easily detected. They're going to wonder why a mouse is in a random changeling's pocket. They won't wonder
What?
why that if there's an ant in their shirt.
I
An
was
ant,
going
a flea.
What about a fish?
Rakasha,
turn me into an ant. Just turn me into an ant already. I do not want
Right.
to.
What about a bird?
Anyways,
Okay,
and
but
they're
first,
afraid of spiders.
What about a
I
parrot?
have one more thing to bring to the table before we continue with this conversation. I made Ray into a thrall.
Who?
what?
Ray, the changeling,
Interesting, and
Why?
why?
to
Yeah,
keep in
okay.
touch with her in case something were to happen. Because I didn't think we were going to go in there ourselves.
Okay.
I mean, I could stay in
Fair enough.
contact
Well,
with her, and I can break it at any moment.
if it works.
To add on to this,
Yes, what was your thing? Deep breaths?
so there was a trail of goo that
Start.
led under construction area, underground, whatnot. I followed it. I did not touch it.
Okay.
I try to avoid.
Disgusting.
Yeah, try to avoid touching goose.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Anywho,
I didn't say anything.
there was Hart and Spade interrogating someone,
Mm-hmm.
and I was too what's the word? Taken back in the moment to fully comprehend this. But they might be working for the capital.
Mm-hmm.
Blackjack might be working for the capital, whoever that is.
Oh, he's a fucking scab.
And they were getting information out of a changeling named Chip, and I think they turned this chip into goo, because I saw the puddle in front of me.
So, to add with your theory, yes, the blackjack is working for the capital, and I believe, just to jog my memory, Claire, it was the spades, was it the spades or the clubs?
In the club, we all fam.
It was the spades or the clubs that were working with the
Is the clubs.
capital.
In
The clubs, okay,
we
I'll
all
make sure.
fam.
And the clubs are insisting on working with the capital and have some people in there. And it is unclear if the hearts and the spades are very accepting of it. But Blackjack seems to pull a lot of strings and has a very respected and possibly either terrorist reputation. Not a lot of people want to cross.
Hart and Spade were being very threatening towards this Chip. They said that they saw Chip with some official and then a representative, and then they turned around and were all like something with the capital, and they were both calling each other traitors. And I don't.
You heard the conversation before. This person turned to goo.
Yes.
And did you attempt to stop the person being turned to goo?
I didn't know it would be. I don't know. I was.
Okay. We'll work on your initiative later.
Well, in my opinion, if they were all calling each other traitors, then something went wrong. Well, I don't condone them being turned into goo.
No.
That also raises more question, is if they're able to turn someone into goo, then what is this liquid pox really?
Ooh, good question. Write that one down.
I think it was already written down.
Now, a lot of all these people that are talking about having this goo and talks about in pain in the neck, a sharp pain.
Very goo-centric episode, this.
Part of me wonders if this is and they keep saying how it's highly contagious and to keep everyone away. But the thing is that Nux and Ray Ray was never even near the liquid pox.
It wasn't.
And all of these people, technically, if that was the case, should have a lot more cases if it was something contagious like that.
If it was contagious, then they would be having to put this whole entire place under quarantine, not just a select group of people.
And I'm
I
sorry,
smell
but what
conspiracy.
medicine for a plague is called an antidote?
That's a good question.
A lot of them are. All of them are.
My cat is yelling at me.
That's what they call them in real life. What do you want to mean?
No. When you think about you have cough medicine, they call it a way to help. It is a medicine, but when you say antidote, normally an antidote is for a poison, a venom, something injected into your system that needs to be cancelled out. You don't cancel out illnesses, you help them pass on less painfully. Or perhaps
I get what you're getting at, but I think the line of thought's a little blurred. But I get the vibe. I get what you're saying. I think something suspicious is going on here, yes. And I think we'll find answers in the capsule.
Maybe medicines in Britain are just really weird if you're calling them antidotes.
Okay.
Oh, damn. You lizard people using such weird ideology, saying Zed and biscuits. What the heck?
Really?
Crumpets and tea. You lizard people.
Lizard.
Okay. I think then we need to do some espionage, a little bit of B&E.
Anyway, though, so the main question of this, though, is do we want to possibly do this very last minute, possibly extremely dangerous mission where we pretend to be changelings and Maverick's turned into a ant and we try to sneak into the capital in order to get a box that is maybe there and maybe has something important that we have no idea if it is, and then somehow have to find out how to get out?
Yes, we do want to do that.
I feel like it is extremely risky. Also, I might point out that
Yes, of course it is.
my sword is not in the best condition.
What happened to your sword?
I tried to use it to pick a lock.
Who the fuck does that?
Do you have the other part of your sword, or did you just leave it in
No,
the
it
lock?
was wedged into it's
And I can't help you.
Do you need a
Oh
weapon?
my god.
Would you like a weapon?
I was not expecting. Sorry,
I have a
Wait.
scimitar.
I can use that.
I have a great sword.
I have a
I
hand
would
axe,
prefer. I mean,
great club
kills
and
dragons.
daggers.
I would like to be able to use my shield, so maybe the scimitar.
Gay.
Alright.
Really quickly, Claire, just as a reminder, when Otto had brought Ray and Nux to the quarantine,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember your exact wording, but there was some form of magic there, correct?
There was, yes.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. Guys, really quickly, when going to the quarantine, when dropping off the two, there was a form of magic. I'm not sure what kind of magic, but there was magic. So that could be a problem.
We'll be fine.
No, if we don't know how to get in there.
Well, disguise ourselves.
Yes, but we don't know if this magic can detect other magic, if this magic will disable our magic. Like, we don't know what will happen.
Could you turn all of us into ants?
I can, but
Ant army.
I
Go my ants.
What sucks is that Otto probably looks thickest out of everyone here, so Otter probably wouldn't even need to change. Just have to walk up being like, I'm ill, and they'll be like, damn, you do look sick.
So,
Cough, cough.
hypothetically, do we want to all go in as bugs? Or Maverick Bogus mode? The rest of us just disguise self and try and walk in? Like, we could just disguise ourselves as people that work there, as guards, and
Another
then just walk in unmolested.
Well,
unmolested.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Another idea.
Okay, okay. Unharassed.
Another
Unquestioned. Fine.
another idea would be that you delivered Nux and Ray.
Mhm.
If they don't have, and this is a big if the capital, the people transporting the prisoners, and if the room itself doesn't have anti-magic properties and therefore would reveal us, and we'd be screwed.
I doubt it'd be anti-magic, because this thing we're theorizing, right, is magical in nature. Like,
As
So
all of
fe-
you are talking, you hear a loud voice boom over the entire building, the curtains blowing from a powerful force. As you hear, the weekly meeting will commence in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
How-
So get your
how the fuck
asses
are we
over
hearing
here
that?
now.
How the fuck are we hearing that? This place is supposed to be in a different dimension. What the fuck?
plane of existence. We get the vibe.
God.
We get the vibe.
God!
Nah,
God.
Quinn came in
God
and
just
sold his
picking you up.
speaker.
Even without
I'm
that,
pretty-
you know from just keeping fucking time, it's been 15 minutes.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, here's... Okay, so
Perhaps
we
you
have to-
could admit us? If you admitted Ray and Nux, if we also are sick
Mhm.
But if you
changelings,
guys
could throw us
get
in.
it... Okay, but the thing is, if you guys get admitted, what am I gonna do? I'll just be outside, basically, because they won't let me in. Unless I'm
Whatever.
like, oh, I'm sick too.
Can you cast Disguise Self?
Yes, freely,
Okay,
actually.
Virtue. Can you do that as well?
Yes.
We just
Okay,
went
so
through
can I. Okay. Ant mode, Maverick. We just
Okay.
disguise ourselves to look like ill changelings. We go into the building, do what we need to do, and then get out. I can make us sneaky, so we can sneak and be disguised. To like draw less attention to us.
Mhm.
Just you know.
It's probably as good as it's gonna get, because in Virtue's plan, I'm left out, and I don't know if that's really a good thing.
I think we should all we should all stick together, because in the event that is like cancelled magic and we all suddenly look like ourselves, we all need to, get the fuck out of Dodge quick.
Yeah.
And it's a bit easier to sort of fight through a bunch of guards if we're all there.
Yeah.
Are we in
Yeah.
So
agreement on
we're
this one?
going to put on a play, basically, of acting ill?
That's our best option.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Oh,
Do
great.
you know how to play ill?
Baby, do I know how to play ill?
Come down, King.
Well, before we decide to go,
Ever heard of
I
man
think-
flu?
but before we do
Being a
decide
man
to
is a
go, I
flu.
might, when we get out of the room, I'm gonna check on Ray, see what's going on with Ray. Between when I admitted her and now, see if anything's happened. Once
should
we get out of here.
We should discuss this as we're walking to the meeting. But quietly.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can telepathically just speak with her. I'm just saying this while we're in the room that no one can hear us in. I'm saying this to y'all so y'all are aware.
Could you communicate with Ray from the room if you're on a different plane of existence?
Nope. I have to be in the same plane of existence.
Good to know.
Anyway,
I can also walk through walls now, which is quite useful for
don't think you want to
espionage.
try that here.
No, not here, no.
No,
I mean,
do
like-
Rocket's
it.
lost in
Do
space.
it. Walk
Nah.
walk
Just walk
into
the
the
fucking
wall.
astral. Into the astral sea.
and we
Alright,
never see
well-
Rock Crusher again.
Are we ready? Are we ready to go?
Yes, let's go.
Maverick,
I am
To
ready.
the toilet.
Claire, I was gonna
Yeah.
text you something really quick while, one's using the toilet. We're all leaving.
Maverick is now an ant.
Oh, lovely.
I'm an ant!
And Where to put
My
you without
dad's
accidentally getting
I
you
just
crushed?
texted you, Claire.
Why don't you put Maverick on like your shoulder or
s-
something?
I was thinking the horns, because I feel like if Aunt's
Oh
seen there.
yeah.
Because remember, Otto's horns are curved, so you can hide literally
I
like
can also hide in
behind
your
the wall
hair.
of it. Let's not do that. Let's not hide it in texture person's hair. That sounds like hell.
But it also seems like
Just
you
saying.
never find an ant in a textured person's hair.
Yeah.
But you also don't find them on the horn.
Oh, you should have just made him lice. Shit. Or
Oh!
a flea. Otto has fleas.
No, God, no. Anyways,
Maverick,
on the
please.
horn. You're on the horn. I guess technically you're
Mm-hmm.
free to walk wherever you want, so I can't stop you from walking there, but you were placed on the horn.
Aunt Maverick is going to
I'm back.
go to like
Aunt Maverick.
stay behind, like kind of like towards like the like back of the horn, but like kind of hiding between the hair and the horn.
Like where the curved part is.
Yeah.
So like a makeshift wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, and then I guess we're leaving the room. And once we leave the room, I'm gonna check in on Maverick to see what's happening, what's going on, what's happened with her and Nux,
Right.
if she knows what's happening to Nux.
Checking on Ray. Gotcha. So, do you fully, like, see into their visions? You need to, like, hold on to someone.
Okay. It doesn't say that I can do that. It just says I can communicate with them, and that's really it.
Okay,
So
so,
unless
like,
you want to
it's
give me that
just...
ability,
Okay.
I
Why the
can't.
fuck would I
So
give
I'm-
you something? Sorry, that was really mean. So you can just speak to the person.
Yeah, I literally just speak. That's what it. Hold up, I'll read it to you just so you know. Make sure there are no mishaps. Let me just. Features. Rolling. A thrall.
I sent a follow-up message.
Excuse me. Oh my god.
Shit.
Yeah, just cross touch. You can communicate telepathically with the charmed creature as long as you are both on the same plane of existence. So that's literally it, besides the fact that she has the charmed effect.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta
And this
reply
cannot
to someone.
be
Thanks. Rudely texting me.
And as a heads up, this isn't something that can just be like dispelled or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, communicating with Ray.
Give me a second.
Hold on. Stop it.
My god. I can't spell. Okay. There you go, bitch. Sorry, that was me too. That was
Don't
me
call my
too.
girlfriend a bitch.
I'm sorry. A loving bitch. I
Look,
love you,
I
bitch.
was being thorough.
Well,
Yippee!
so where are y'all headed? The meeting? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah? That doesn't sound very confident.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not really a
pretty
big
sure.
fan of this idea, even though I'm the one that brought it up.
Hey,
I'm about to
man.
say, like, you brought this plan up.
I know. I was kind of hoping someone would be like, "Oh yeah, no, that's kind of stupid," but then you're all like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." And
Hey,
I'm
man,
like,
a
well, keep in
heist.
mind-
And
Whoa, let's be honest. You're telling this to everyone who's done something extremely stupid before, and you're normally the rational one, so we're all probably thinking, oh, it's Virtue. Virtue
rational.
wouldn't bring this up unless, like, it was, if it
nothing
wasn't
could
important.
possibly go wrong. Anyways, Otto, you you speak, or you telepathically. Oopsies. You telepathically just ask Ray what exactly do you want to ask Ray?
Basically, I'll be asking Ray, hey, I'm checking in. What has happened so far between you and Nux? Has anything of importance happened? Have you moved? Like, what's the deal?
Back, and just in the back of your head, you hear her say, "We were placed onto beds. They gave us food and water. There are other people in much worse condition than Nux and I. They spoke to us, saying that soon we will be transported away, though they didn't say where.
How are you and Nux holding up?
We're both fine. Much better than everyone else around, but Nux is a bit too happy.
What do you mean by too happy? Like Nux hasn't stopped smiling, or
Precisely. They don't say that they're dying at all. Just keep saying that once they get out, everything will be fine.
I think Nux is just trying to hold on to hope. Just stay close to Nux and make sure nothing bad happens. We're probably on our way.
Understood.
Good. And I will end it there.
Okay.
I have an idea. What if we just disguise ourselves as the guys who are already ill, so as to like not arouse even more suspicion about like who these new guys are?
Then wouldn't
Do
there
you-
be doubles?
Well,
Yeah,
who'd-
that would
who'd
lead
be
to
hide
more.
them?
Well, keep in mind that there's a whole thing about changing stealing identities. I think we'll get accused pretty fucking fast and be executed on.
Alright, fair enough.
There was also those changelings in the alley, but since they were already thrown out to the streets, either they're not associated with the Hearts and the other ones, or they were already treated and thrown away.
Stick with plan A. Got it.
Speaking of
but-
Plan A, Otto, if you want to say something, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna tell the party that basically of what Ray had told Otto.
Perfect. Perfect. Is there anything you'd like to do before you enter the meeting? Any of you?
My hair, make sure I'm looking
I'm in.
presentable. Ruffle my cloak up, get that sort of back of it all fluffed up,
Of course.
looking
Oh,
official.
we're going into this meeting as ourselves, just to confirm.
Yeah.
I'm an ant.
Yeah, you got transformed into an ant a little early, but
It's better now than later. And plus, Maverick is noisy.
Oh,
We'll do it. You're our secret weapon.
Yeah, we're just
You're
gonna throw you,
Your
and then just
weapon.
Maverick,
just-
I choose you.
Wait,
Maverick.
was I ever given the scimitar? Yes, I did
Yes,
give it to
you
you.
were.
Okay. What is it? Or
Regular.
is it just like a regular?
Yeah. I'll also do a little bit of prestidigitation, just to make us all nice and clean looking, smelling good.
It's very important. It's very important.
Okay.
Make me a little look.
So I'm just adding a
basic.
basic ass common scimitar to my inventory.
Yes, ma'am. Hey,
All
man,
right.
you were the one to roll a natural one to try and...
I
the door.
can't believe I rolled a natural one, and I broke my sword
Yeah.
right before Ray will most likely go into combat. Well, guess I'm gonna be using.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways. There's nothing else you like to do. You all move closer to the main commotion of the city, which is what you can assume one of these meetings is taking place. As you get closer, you recognize Krista, the person that's giving these meetings, standing on top of one of the many stages inside the Hearts. It is in a different room. It's just the main building of large and open space, and she's on the main stage. There are changelings sitting in front on the ground, some in chairs, others standing, others are hanging from the ceiling, others are just passing by, listening. All of them being so close together, you can tell that most, if not all of them, have a heart tattoo somewhere on their bodies. Some are small, some are large, some are open, some are out in the open, I should say, others are hidden. But you see they're all sort of like mumbling with each other as You see Krista sort of pacing back and forth with a paper in her hand. It seems you have just an itty-bitty more time left until the meeting starts. Is there anywhere specific that you'd like to stand, sit, or be?
I think we should all sit together.
Yeah.
Do we want to sit in the front or the back?
Do we want to be the edgy ones in the back or the cool kids in the front?
I think
Or
we should.
just
I think we should
normal in the middle?
stand at the back with our arms crossed.
I don't know about crossed arms.
That
but
seems a little disrespectful. I don't know.
I know, we're not
I'm
changelings.
pretty sure there
Small
are
and
other
small.
people that are standing with their arms crossed. Like, hey, look at that guy in the weird armor, honestly staring at somebody.
We're observing, not participating.
Yeah.
It seems you've
Well,
been
of course, yeah.
outnumbered.
All around me are familiar.
Okay. Virtue broods in the corner while everyone
I'll
else
use-
stands in the back.
I use which one is it? Prestidigitation to make a small chair for the ant.
I
On
was
my
like,
head?
can you do that? But if it's for an
Yeah,
ant, I'll
it
allow
makes-
it.
It makes a small non-magical trinket.
You
Perfect.
Maverick can't even see. Maverick's behind the horn, so you're just like putting this behind Otto's like horn, just like here you go, Maverick.
Just put it on your head.
It's
On top
beautiful.
of your hair.
What the fuck? What did you do?
Just put a little chair for Maverick.
Good morning, everyone, and thank yous for joining me for these announcements in this meeting. For those who don't know me, I'm Krista King, your guardian and king of hearts since the suits has been created. These meetings aren't mandatory, but it's the best way to learn about what's going on in the suits, and I always really appreciate yous for showing up. At least, I can tell you what I do know, you fucking wide mouths. She jokes, getting a small chuckle of understanding from the crowd. I'm joking, but seriously, whoever's been spreading around that I got a body count of 3, yous better be ready to have your head on the chalking block, because it's much higher than that. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get to the news, shall we? You see her put away the little note that she had and stuff in her pocket. Starting off on a harsh one. Earlier today in the suits, a changelings were under attack from the people of Vals. 2 of our leaders were caught in the middle of the attack as one of our most dedicated hearts, Nux Carmen. Thankfully, during the attack, a brave bystander stepped in and caused the crowd to disperse. We may not have been able to save Gub Hector, Finlanos, or Jill Carmen, but thanks to that black dragon, we can say that only 3 people had to fall during that attack. Let's please take a moment to show this black dragon our respect. Krista snaps her fingers and shapeshifts into the spitting image of Rock Crusher, just in her own clothes, which is a very low, shows a lot of cleavage, so that's what you wanted to see Rock Crusher in. And within a few seconds, a wave of other changelings do the same, creating a large swarm of Rock Crushers, all patting himself on the back. Otto, unfortunately, you do not get to see this, due to your true sight temporarily. But, everyone else gets to see that. Rock Crusher probably a bit proud, everyone else probably a bit disturbed. Krista ships back into herself, and everyone quickly does the same. We are trying our best to investigate who's behind this attack, but it's so new, any information can be useful. But on behalf of the suits, we are all working tirelessly. If you have any complaints for what I'm about to say, we can talk about them later, because our next performance has been cancelled. I wanted you all to perform just as much as yous, but after the recent actions from the cities, we see it's best for us to remain in hiding. I assure you there will be a day where we get out there again, but for now, we must appreciate the sanctuary that Blackjacks in the suits has created for us. The crowd becomes a little bit more aggravated than before. All this news doesn't seem to really be doing a good job of boosting the morale of the crowd. Fine, I see as y'all aren't very happy, but I do have some fun news for yous to chew on. As I said in the last meeting, that the church was closed for an extended period of time, and there's no likelihood for it to be getting back anytime. Well, the Spirit Weaver and I have been working closely together, and I can gladly announce that he has bestowed sanctuary on all of yous. The crowd looks to each other a little bit more excited. If yous ever find yourself at your lowest, being hunted, or need a place to pray, the Church of the Spirit sector welcomes you. And as the vessel, I also serve as a resource. I can help you connect to the spirits, or just talk to yous, you know. But I swear, if any of yous start calling me dad again, I won't hesitate to smack you square in the face. I transitioned for a reason, you cunts. The crowd breaks into a small little laughter, obviously reminiscing on something that happened in the past. Do any of yous have any questions for the goods of the groups? Before you ask, yes, I am single, and I have no interest in any of you weirdos, so don't try. A few lucky, hopeful bachelors put their hands down. Do any of you have any questions?
No, I feel like that covered it pretty well.
Yeah.
Not any I'd want to say in front of people.
Okay. If you guys don't have any questions, you hear, I have a question. You hear a changeling shout from the back of the crowd, raising his hand. The people around him move away slightly, letting both you and Krista see him a little bit better. He looks very skinny, unnaturally so. He's sort of swaying back and forth ever so slightly. The people around him move out of the way even more, a bit uncomfortable to be around him. Yes, sis, what's got you burning up so bad? She asks, squinting her eyes to get a better look at him. The man, his hands still raised in the air, takes a step closer to her, slowly, one step at a time. Is it true that if you get the liquid pox, you're gonna be sent to the capital? He says, a smile growing on his face. There's have a possible cures for it. There's nothing for you to be worried about. It's a good thing. The man frowns, obviously not happy with that answer. He continues to step closer. Is it true that you only send them there to die? He says, picking up the pace slightly. Kids, I don't know where you learned that from. It's the best we have for the state of the illness right now. I'm sorry as I can't do more. Liar! He says, rushing up onto the stage, the crowd parting for him, trying to stay as far away from this thing as possible. He pushes Krista back, tangling both of them into a curtain that hanged right behind the stage. You hear them both struggle, and the man seemed to be dealing with it much, much worse. Krista screams, "What the fuck is that?" While the man gargles on some sort of liquid in his lungs as the movement behind the curtain becomes much larger and much larger. The curtain is ripped off the wall, throwing Krista out of it and onto the ground, and the curtain lands onto the stage. But there wasn't a changeling left behind. There's a huge creature towering over all of you. While it looks like a changeling, it looks a lot more like a blob of matter. It flows like a large mass of liquid, with some of it dripping onto the floor. Its face is horrifying. It still looks slightly human, though its droopy skin covers most of the facial features you would have recognized. The crowd immediately panics, seeing the creature, trying to find the quickest path away from this creature. That includes trampling over Krista and pushing past you all as fast as possible. As the creature bellows in a deep gargled growl, it lunges out to attack towards the crowd and towards all of you. But we will continue that next session and the next level up in the 2024 rule sets.